All right, guys. So apparently, Legion, I forget his actual name, if she even gave it, but has come forward to basically speak against Reesa Teesa, you know, Reesa Teesa Buttercup. This is cringe. Anyway, but I wanted to watch this one video that she made first. It's a 4-minute thing. I breezed through it or skimmed through it, excuse me, and I think that it basically is it's his brother saying, "Listen, can you correct the record on a couple of small things?" And one of those big, well, really small, big thing is that he apparently struggles with some mental health issues potentially. So we're gonna watch this first, and then we're gonna watch his interview that he did. Yeah, let's go. And if you haven't already, you probably want to watch the the full reaction I did to her entire 50-part series. I'll put it in the sources. All right, let's go.
Who the fuck did I marry? New update. Today is Monday, February 26, 2024. Earlier today, Legion's older brother, Chris, reached out to my friend, Tracy Tripp, an attorney here in Metro Atlanta.
Tracy Tripp. Are you plugging Tracy Tripp?
He called her firm to ask how he can get in contact with me. Tracy, being the friend that she is, basically had the attitude of, I don't know you. You're going to have to verify. Remember, trust, but verify.
That's fair. What is happening?
Chris did exactly that.
Here it is.
On the phone, he verified, because I was on speakerphone when she called me, that he was in fact the older brother.
Okay.
I felt comfortable. I called him from my personal phone. I called him at 2:16 p.m. Eastern.
She speaks so slow, I think. Not in like a bad way,
Standard Time. He and I spoke, and there were two things that he asked for me to clear up.
Okay.
Here it is. Number one, Legion's mother passed away first. His father passed away a few years later. It was at the father's funeral that Legion brought his ex-wife, and apparently there was an altercation of some kind between Legion and his older brother. Yeah. They have not seen each other since the father's funeral. The information that I initially gave in my 50-part series was that they have not seen each other since the mother's funeral. So I want to clarify, they have not seen each other since the father's funeral. Secondly,
seems like a small change, but I can understand why that would be something very big to their family.
Chris wanted me to also let you all know that their parents, though they are passed away, the parents did everything they could to get Legion psychiatric help. At one point, they were taking him to different therapists and psychologists. He's been diagnosed as a kid with both bipolar and schizophrenia.
Interesting. Well, that that might explain some of the roughness, of what's going on. I mean, Legion is like older too, and he's my age, and it's I would imagine that. Well, not my age. He's older than me. What am I talking about? I'm 33. Even when I was young, and my mother did a lot. Like I have like a legitimate, I have ADHD. I was a very difficult behavioral kid. No dad and all that nonsense. We don't have to get into that. But that was even when mental health wasn't super valued. And so, even if they hadn't necessarily, even if they weren't able to get him the help he needed, I would kind of understand, because what is he, like in his 40s or 50s? That kind of stuff is very tough. But, and even if they had got him help, like who's to say that they had the right answers for these types of problems, the same medications, the same, behavioral therapies, did these things exist then? I don't really, probably not, at least not to the same degree. So, Legion might be a little bit of a victim of the system.
I did not know this. Chris informed me today, Monday, February 26th, during that phone call, that their father came out of retirement to help pay for the medications. And as Legion got older, he refused to take them.
I mean, that makes sense. That's one of the things when, you're somebody with a mental health issue, you typically still have agency over yourself. Then you have the ability to make bad decisions. And I know some of the medications will have everything has side effects, so it might have a negative impact in some way, shape, or form. You may not necessarily feel like yourself. You might feel a little fuzzy or hazy, but you kind of got to do what you got to do, man.
Did not know that. I say all this to say that Chris gave me permission to go ahead and relay this message to everyone to clear up some things that were said in the 50-part series. And
it's like, even if you have a family member or somebody that you love that has a mental health problem, you can't, because people might be like, well, how come they didn't stay? And it's like, you can only do so much sometimes. And sometimes people, I think are just going to be shit sometimes. And I think the most person-centric thing that you can understand is that even with people with disabilities can be assholes. And there's only so far you can take. Of course, you want to be more charitable to somebody that struggles a little more mentally, but there is going to be a limit. And, you can't, sometimes you're just slamming your head against a wall and trying to help somebody who refuses to get help. And it's just kind of a sad scenario, man. That's just, sometimes life is sad. I know, what a hot take, but sometimes life's just sad, man. You're not necessarily ever going to be able to do something. Try your best, but sometimes it's just gonna be what it is.
He also had a message for me. He said, "We support you. The family is not mad at you. We've known how he is for years. you can expose that motherfucker.
Damn. It's like a movie. Is it real? Did they actually say that?
So thank you, Chris. I told him I would make this video to clarify exactly what he said, and he told me that if you or any friends know the family personally up in Philly, Chris has a message for you. The captain is loose.
Okay, this is getting kind of, what the fuck? What?
Apparently you all should know what that means if you know the family.
Okay.
I say all this to say again, I take responsibility and be accountable for the series that I put out, that 50-part series. So if I said something that was incorrect, I have no issue making sure that I correct it as best I can.
Okay.
However, let me be very clear, ladies and gentlemen. I know what my ex-husband put me through. I cannot speak for anyone else. I can only speak on my experience. I realize that this story sounds absolutely outrageous, but it's true. I filmed it the way I did for a reason, because it's true. I gave you details because it's true, and I stand on that. Okay. You all have a wonderful day. And last but not least, to Chris and Tracy, I thank you. Talk to you guys soon.
What happened?
All right, yeah, man. So we learned that he's struggling with mental health issues. Okay, so he's diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia. All right, let's get this. Let's get his interview started.
What happens if I lose my job? I get into this. She wanted to live a bigger life than I was planning on living. What are you putting into this? Her car that she was driving at the time was trash. What happens if I lose my job? I get sick. I get this. I get that. You spend money every day you step out the door.
He's telling the family that I stole his money.
I'm trying to be financially smart because you just go out and spend and spend and spend, and you only put a quarter back.
She said, one thing you need to know about Legion. She said, whatever he tells you, it is a lie.
What an intro.
That's not it. You know, and she did it for likes.
I thought I knew, but I truly had no idea who the fuck I married.
I mean, listen, like, I think everybody, if you look back at a toxic, negative relationship, you're going to look at it through like your own lens, where you're gonna, whether it's intentional or not, downplay some of the negatives that you engaged in, because sometimes you rationalize the negative behaviors you engaged in because you're like, well, that person deserved it, they kind of sucked, and so there's probably parts of it that aren't necessarily 100% accurate, but she seems pretty credible, honestly. You know, she just, I don't know, the way that she talks about it seems pretty reasonable. But let's see what he has to say. Simply wavy.
The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed in this video do not reflect upon the host. This is a direct reflection of Jerome McCoy, aka Legion's point of view.
Jerome? Damn.
From the time of this video, any physical evidence to confirm or deny Reesa Teesa's story has yet to be disclosed. Jerome was interviewed several times as new information was released. Today's a very special day. I'm here with a guy who, over the last week, has grown extremely popular on social media, but not for a very favorable reason.
Or like infamous.
I'm going to go in order from the time we met until the time I got our divorce decree in the mail.
Oh, is she Jewish? She looks like a rabbi here.
Hi, my name is Jerome McCoy. Y'all been saying Legion or what name that Teresa decided to give me, whatever. I'm only here, honestly, because I didn't see the stories until like part 20, and a good friend hit me up and was like, hey, it's your ex-wife, and she on here, you know, she bashing you or whatnot. And I didn't know nothing about it. I literally still haven't watched a lot of it. I just paid attention to like the footnotes. Somebody like watched the whole thing.
I mean, it's a lot to watch. It's 7 hours, you know.
And gave me like a microcosm of what she was saying because they knew it wasn't true. And then I honestly wasn't going to respond. Nobody said anything to me.
Listen, here's my thing. All that has to happen is that like his legitimate family just has to come forward and go, oh, she's lying. Because that's the thing. If she is lying, she's doing a really bad job at it. Because all that it would have to happen was like she's writing checks that could easily be denied. They could bounce them, right? She just said that she talked to his brother. So all that has to happen is his actual confirmed brother has to come forward and go, oh, this isn't true. And Legion wins. That's all. But which leads me to believe either she's a risky player or she's telling the truth. And the brother's like, yeah. He's an asshole.
I got family members getting harassed. You know, my godmom at work and people coming up to her, and then my niece couldn't go to school.
Oh, I think the godmom is like actually not his godmother. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the aunt. It's like a friend.
Ooh, because of it. Got another niece that had to move out of Atlanta. And she came back home, her mom, because of all this. So for me, when I heard about it, I was going to ignore it. Still ignore it because it didn't bother me. But then I heard the unfortunate story about the gentleman with the same name, his house being vandalized and then people harassing him, and then another gentleman with the same name. I think that I'm not mistaken. I think somebody had wrote like,
were people getting hurt? Was that happening?
They took a shot at him. So for that reason, I said, all right, let me come put a stop to some of this. Some of the people I went to school with, good friends of mine, been getting harassed, and I got friends of mine getting harassed. I got my brother, you know, he had to make a statement for his job, and even I had to go to.
Can somebody find me something that there's any harassment reports? Because I feel like we would have seen that if that's true. This is a big story.
workplace and make a statement and find out what was going on and then get legally covered before I jump on camera, start talking loose like some people doing. A lot of things had to come in place for me to jump on here. And then the funny part in between that, I see ex-girlfriends that I ain't talked to in forever, ex-wife, and I mean, and it's crazy because I'm like, what?
When he told me this, I was in the kitchen laughing.
Allegedly, your ex-wife came out and did a 50-part series on TikTok about...
Well, she didn't allegedly come out. She came out and made a 50-part series. I don't know
what transpired in y'all's relationship.
Allegedly, okay, gotcha.
And all the horror stories and all these things that she felt like, she needed to come out and say. First things first, I just wanted to ask, explain the conditions and how you guys met, about the apartment, studio apartment, the money situation and the job.
Right. So they met on like a social media, they met on like a dating site, and then they moved in very quickly, right? That was the general story.
I met her. I was doing a work thing, and after work, everybody wanted to get together to eat. I mean, we had like one of the most stressful weeks at my job that we could possibly have. So we all was like, Cheesecake Factory. You in Atlanta, you know anything about Atlanta, everybody go Cheesecake Factory. Me, it's my favorite restaurant. Don't eat there too much, you're gonna get fat. But I mean, it's a good place to eat. We all went there to eat, honestly. I was there. She was there with two of her roommates. We met. She seemed honestly like a really nice girl.
I could have swore that she said they just met on a dating site. Why would what?
Nice lady, honestly. Very funny.
Honestly?
Really smart.
Was she honestly funny?
We exchanged numbers and we decided to meet back there a week later. The next week, I actually could not meet her back there because, again, I had work. Then the week after that, she called me up. We was like, Cheesecake Factory, cool. So I was on my way to meet her there. She called me on the phone, said that she had a problem with her tire. Asked what was going on. She said she had a piece of metal in it or something. She put some air in it and was on the way and was going to meet me. Then she called me like 20 minutes later, said she couldn't do it. She couldn't meet me because of the tire and she needed help.
I heard a boom and I lost control of my car.
I'm pretty sure, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that she said that they met on a social media app. Why would she lie about that? But I guess the Cheesecake Factory part's somewhat consistent.
Crash, but my tire blew out. I said, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing.
No, she didn't have roadside assistance or anything like that. So I was like, all right, cool. And I was just going to go and be done with it. But something in me said, hey, don't leave a woman on the side of the road. Like, my dad was real.
They met twice on different dating apps. Yeah. Right. That's what I had thought. Like, he had different profiles with like slightly different names, and she thought that was a red flag. But she's an older woman and was kind of desperate for a date. So, I feel bad. But when people get older, especially women, they feel more pressured to get married. So
big on, you can help. So I was like, all right, cool. Tell me where you at. Send me your location. Boom. She sent me a location. Long story short, I went helped her get her tire fixed. Went to a tire place. A guy I know, know and love. He fixed the tire. Really didn't charge me much anything. I paid for the tire. And we ended up going to dinner after that. We talked, hit it off. And we ended up spending almost 24 hours together just talking. Really.
Okay. So far, this is somewhat consistent, except for the dating app thing.
She interests me because she is like highly intelligent. Teesa, not stupid by any means. So that's how I got started, honestly. She was very open. And I was very open about what was going on with me, which was nothing but...
I wonder if the reason that he changed the story, and maybe he's telling the truth and she's lying, but I don't know but maybe. But maybe the reason he changed the story is because he realizes it kind of makes him look bad to have multiple, social media apps. But then again, if he's schizophrenic, I wonder if part of that is his schizophrenia having like multiple things. Does that make sense? I don't know.
I just worked way too much at that time. I was working way too much. As anybody, you're just trying to make money. Back then, my motivation was I just want to make as much money as possible. I had nothing to tie me into anything other than just, get some money.
We both had established we were dating.
Yeah, but didn't he take on his brother's personality and like said that he was a rich guy or whatever, but he wasn't?
Marriage. It was.
Schizophrenia usually involves delusions, false beliefs, hallucinations, seeing and hearing things that don't exist, unusual physical behavior disorders. Yeah, so I feel like that's kind of consistent with, his lying in the first place, but then also maybe even having multiple social media apps, possibly. You wouldn't know unless you sat down and like really talked to him about it like a therapist. But it
was a good vibe. We sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight. And I thought it was a sign. So I was like, oh my God.
That was how I got started. After a couple of weeks of talking on the phone, dating. Again, she grew on me as any relationship you like somebody.
Sure.
She came to the studio apartment a couple times. I've been to her house a couple of times.
Now, I want to know where all that money went that you had supposedly taken for the deaths of your family. I want to know how much of it went to Peaches, the prostitute. Okay.
Now, friends of mine I work with, we talked about her and they advised me, hey, this Atlanta, be careful because you're making this money, you're doing your thing. You don't want to end up just in a situation where you end up paying for stuff.
Making money doing what?
And doing stuff. I
need him to tell us what he was doing.
Where, man, you try to take care of your woman the best you can do. I'm a car guy. I love cars. So for me, if she had a problem with her car, I help her. And over the coming weeks, she had a lot of problems with the Nissan Rogue she was driving. So I help out. I wasn't gonna have. I even drove her car to work a couple of days just to get some stuff fixed on it because I know guys work on cars and I know a lot. So just to get that situation in a better position. Then, the relationship grew. And then the pandemic hit.
But everything was going great. The issue was, where are we going to quarantine? When he came to my house, I had a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhome. He was in a studio. I was like, he kept telling me, like, this is temporary because I'm looking for a house. Like, he showed me the email.
Yeah, the email. The fucking email from the supposed job that was like, hey, we're going to give you money for a house if you move in somewhere. What is his explanation for that?
At the company, she was putting him in contact with a realtor to help him find a townhome or a single family house.
So the apartment is just the apartment I lived in during the week doing work. I lived other side of Atlanta. So for me, going to the house, this was 5 minutes versus driving an hour and 10 minutes.
What's his explanation for her email? Like, all he has to say was like, oh, that was fake or something. At least say something about it.
With traffic to my house.
But then again, if he hadn't watched all of her series, he wouldn't know the answer to what she's saying.
So you already had a house?
Yeah.
So that wasn't mentioned in the story. I don't know if you know that, but
yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, she said that all you had was the studio apartment. So you had a house and a studio apartment.
Yep, stayed in a studio apartment through the week because traffic in Atlanta is horrible. Trying to get home and get back and wearing out. I'm basically wearing.
But she said that you got what? Okay.
Myself out in the afternoon getting off work, and I'm in the car for 2 hours. Where a studio apartment, 15 minutes. She lived in Riverdale. I actually lived in Douglasville, but the job was in what is that? Like Duluth area.
What was the job?
Yeah. So if you look on the map, Duluth and Douglasville is far.
Because isn't this guy like a certified forklift operator? I mean, I'm sure he does well for himself, but he wasn't a fucking, like, he was talking about how he was like a CEO of Mustard Incorporated.
And Riverdale is farther, so it was easier for me to get this studio apartment, be there during the week because I would be at work sometimes 8 o'clock, and then having to drive home, get up, make that drive to the studio apartment. And a couple people that work with me, we all did the same thing. We all rented out of this building because it was easier for a lot of us.
I did not realize inviting him to my home probably made his eyes go, oh shit, she's a keeper. She got this 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhouse, and I'm in like a little studio. Yeah, let me go ahead and pursue this. What I need to do to quarantine here. Because
I heard in the story where she said that we quarantine.
And I don't know that he necessarily was like, oh, let me jump and pounce on this. Maybe he actually liked her, but he definitely didn't treat her well based on her story.
Together during the pandemic. And I need to clear that up because during the pandemic, like we're Zooming and we FaceTime. I got her into using Apple products, iPhone, and we FaceTime. During the pandemic, she worked from home. I still had to get up and go to work. And because people at my job were coming down with COVID left and right, I didn't think it was a good idea for us to physically see each other because COVID in Atlanta was horrible. The city was shut down. I'm not an essential worker, so our job had to apply for us to be able to be out in the morning. So I would have to get up in the morning time, go to work, and come home.
What would you doing at work? I don't know why he won't tell us.
I want to be around somebody. I'm around people all day long. They've been out in the community moving around. So if I got sick, I'm gonna get her sick. So during the pandemic, when she said that we were together, yeah, we were talking, boyfriend and girlfriend, but we were not in the same house together. It was almost 5.5 months that I didn't physically see her. I saw her like I'm seeing you. I didn't spend any time in the house with her because I didn't want to get her sick if I got sick.
So y'all weren't quarantined together then?
No.
I didn't want to quarantine by myself. So he moved in. We talked about the bills. Let me clear something up that I said in the other video where I said he paid all the bills. He paid all the household bills. He did not pay my car payment, my cell phone, or my car insurance. He paid the rent because my rent at the time was less than $1,000. When he's telling me that he's a regional manager, I was like, wow, okay, so you got money.
So when you first met her, do you feel like it started off about money?
No, absolutely not.
I was gonna say, because like when you were talking about the job and everything like that, it was just this casual conversation. It wasn't like, hey, look, I got all these big things coming up and this is what my situation is now, but this is what it's gonna be. You don't think that like none of that played into y'all's relationship at first?
No, I mean, I told her in the beginning my job was demanding at times, and it was.
Why won't he tell us what the job is that he supposedly have?
And then I did charity work on top of it. And it was something that I wanted to do.
Come on, man. Did charity work too?
My grandfather used to do it, and he got me into it.
What's the charity work?
I got it. Two gentlemen that are not my brothers, but I call them my brothers. A long time ago, both of them like just looked out for me, and because when my father died, they just stepped in like father figures, but they're like big brothers to me, and they did some of the same charity work. So I just wanted to lend a hand and help them help people, and it's just something good to do. Ain't nothing better than helping people who need it.
I am not Mrs. Barry. It's not gonna make me look good, but it's the truth. It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills.
Tell that to my wife because she gets mad at me when I give people money. Or do nice things for people. She gets mad at me. I think it's because I do too much. That's probably why. Like I don't just give people a couple bucks. That's why. So she gets a little annoyed with me. She's like, "You gotta stop You're giving too much." And I'm like, "I'm just a giver. I'm a giver, baby."
It was a wonderful feeling. And
I'm the CEO of the forklift.
So I kind of pushed to the side the fact that you shacking up because it's like, but your paycheck, you don't have to worry right now. Like he's taking care of all of April's bills before April even comes because this was still March. And then we had a conversation about
I can make April come.
House.
Was there a turning point in this situation? Like was there a certain point where you were like, okay, I'm noticing she started to be on edge about stuff?
I told her in the beginning, pretty much everything about me. And I told her there's certain things I wasn't going to discuss with her because I felt like, as a girlfriend, not your business. How much money I make, not your business. My exact finances, not your business. She knew for a fact I had money because, again, I bought dinner, I did everything. The first time we went out, yeah, she paid for hers, I paid for mine. After that, she didn't buy another meal.
Wait, she paid for her own meal the first time you went out? Why? That doesn't even, I don't even believe that. It's just a weird thing that you'd potentially lie about.
The whole time y'all were dating?
Yeah, no, never again. Never paid for food again, never. And that's fine because kind of guy I am essentially. If I ask you on a date, obviously I'm paying. That's how I feel. I know somebody gonna be like, no, man, I'm cutting it down the middle. No, honestly, if I ask you out, then I have full intention of I'm taking care of dinner. One of the reasons I did pay for everything other than that is she had told me about her job.
Wait, didn't he just say that he didn't pay the first time?
Time y'all were dating?
Yeah, no. I bought dinner, I did everything. The first time we went out, yeah, she paid for hers, I paid for mine. After that, she didn't buy another meal.
Why? Why would, what?
Like I am essentially, if I ask you on a date, obviously I'm paying. That's how I feel. I know somebody gonna be like, no, man, I'm cutting it down the middle. No, honestly, if I ask you out, then I have full intention of I'm taking care of dinner. One of the
But you just said that your first date you didn't pay for dinner. I'm just fucking confused.
reasons I did pay for everything other than that is she had told me about her job, her financial situation with student loans. She was very open because she told me about the Nissan Rogue that she was driving. She actually showed me the loan paperwork. And I read over it. And I saw that, she was paying a very high interest rate on a truck that really wasn't worth it. I mean, she was paying 3 times what the truck was worth. Not to mention paying student loans, getting up, going to work every day. And actually, like some of the supplies for her job, she was buying herself.
This is when he showed me a letter from Chase with the Chase logo at the top, stating that he had been approved for a mortgage for a $750,000 mortgage or a $750,000 house. So he was like, we can't go over $750,000. And I said, I remember asking him, can you afford the mortgage on a $750,000 house? Because I know I can't. This is when he explains to me, I told you how I played arena football. I invested my money really well.
What was going on with that?
Arena football. I forgot about that. I don't know. Maybe he paid for her tire or something, and so then he's just like, yeah, get your own meal at the Cheesecake Factory. I don't know.
How was the situation with the cash offer? Like, was the proof of finance?
I told her she wanted, because like I said, she knew about my house and then hers. She wanted to, and this is after we got married.
And again, this is April 2020. This is before we got married. So at the time, he was my boyfriend. His whole attitude was, you're gonna be my wife, happy life. And the home was listed, I believe, roughly 400 and something thousand. He's telling me he put an offer in. I need to clarify some things he told me and the things that I actually saw.
She wanted to get a house that we both could live in together.
Okay.
I told her, we looked at her credit, we looked at mine. When we looked at her credit, it wasn't good.
Okay.
So I talked
typical woman, am I right?
to a financial advisor I know, and my brother, Miguel. He's not my blood brother, but he, like I told you, he gave me some good advice.
What about your blood brother? What did he
said? Listen, bro, you want to go into a house with this woman? I'm advising you not to do it, but if you want to do it, she don't have the capital. So what you're going to have to do is it's going to be you. So if you put her on the loan, you're going to pay.
Yeah, as a co-signer, it could help her build up her credit. Yeah,
pay
sure.
more. So you might as well just put yourself on there and take care of everything. And you can put her name on the house as just someone.
Wait, what? I don't think that's true. Hold on.
On the loan, you're going to pay more. So you might as well just put yourself on.
I don't know if that's. I mean, maybe that's true. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think that having her as a co-signer would make you pay more. If you had really good credit, I don't think that they're going to have you pay more because her credit may not necessarily be as good.
On there and take care of everything. And you can put her name on the house as just someone living there. So when we talked about it, she agreed to it, but we were still into this marriage. And I told her I'm not comfortable with buying a house with you just yet. I'll sublease my house out, and we can live somewhere, or you can do something different. We can figure something out. What she didn't do, and this was the first red flag for me.
But if you had a house, why wouldn't you just live there? Oh, because it's so far away. Oh, I don't think he actually had a house, but that's a good lie. If you know what I mean, it's like, oh, I had a house, but it was 2 hours away, and it was so far away from our work, so I didn't want to live there. Okay.
She signed a 2-year lease at that house in Riverdale, and she didn't tell me anything about it. The only way I found out about it because I asked her, because it was coming close to the time to renew the lease. She said, I already signed a 2-year lease. Why would you do that?
In October, we looked at another house. This house was in Marietta. Absolutely gorgeous.
The music is killing me.
It was gorgeous. I want to say that the house was about $700,000. I really like the house. I could see myself living there. I could see myself cooking there. And so subsequently, my ex-husband put in an all-cash offer on that house. I watched him put an all-cash offer in on the house.
So at that point for me, like I told her, my house, I'm not getting rid of that because...
Why?
For me, I just didn't want to, honestly.
You're going to move in with her? You're going to have 3 houses. You have 2 houses in an apartment? What? There's no way.
No side story. I just didn't want to. And I went to her like, well, we can live out here. She got an aunt that was living in like Dallas, Georgia. And I'm like, we'll be closer to her if you want to go out there and see your little cousin or your grandfather or something like that. So we left the situation up in the air. All this looking at houses, she went and looked at a couple of houses. I looked at 2 houses where her, I like both of them.
Well, a couple of houses is 2. So
of them, both prices were needed to be negotiated. But at the time, they wanted to give her promotion at GSP. And I'm like, why don't you just take the promotion? Because then you can start paying down some of the student loan. I'll help you do that. Let's get your credit up here so that we can go into this house together. Because if I go into it by myself, I don't have a problem doing that, but we got to clean your credit up because we're married. And that means your credit is my credit. So
no, I don't think that's true. My wife's credit sucks. We just use my credit. But okay.
Let's get that cleaned up. She wanted to push to get out of that house. And I said, if you want to get out of the house, you're moving up here where I'm at. But again, buying a house, your credit's not high. It just didn't make sense. Let's get your debt down. Anybody buying a house, you know this. Your credit bad, you ain't buying no house. If your credit good and the person's credit not so good, you're gonna pay more because the person on the loan's credit isn't stellar. And I was trying to help her get that together.
As far as the loan, what made her look for these high houses for $700,000, $600,000 if she didn't have no credit for that?
I didn't tell her to look for a $600,000, $700,000 house. That's a question for her. I don't know. I told her I don't care if we are in Atlanta. The house that I live in.
Okay, I guess that might be true. Adding a cosigner with a lower score could increase your interest rate. Okay, maybe. All right.
In Douglasville, I got at auction, and I only paid $125,000 for a house that's probably around $210,000, $230,000.
I think Legion has more interest than me. Great question, thank you.
So $600,000 house, I'm like, I'm not going in with that and your credit like this because we're gonna be paying forever. Or I'm gonna be paying forever.
But what I'm trying to figure out, so was it Chase loan, like the approval of the $700,000, was that a real thing?
I never went to my bank and needed to get approved for a loan.
I think the part that
so she said that he showed her a paper that said that he was approved for a huge loan.
Was just kind of unclear is that the money was there though. You're saying like the proof of fund, like when you were going to pay for the house in cash, was that even a thing?
I wasn't going to pay for the cash. I was going to go ahead and get a loan and finance the house. I wasn't about to go spend $750,000 or $600,000, $500,000. No, I knew because honestly, I had told her before the budget for finding a house, we don't need to be over $340,000. She started looking at houses that high.
Was the proof of funds ever an issue?
No, because I never gave it to the realtor because all we did was look at houses and I didn't commit to anything because again,
right. She said that he refused to give proof of funds. I remember that something as well.
I told them solely we're just looking right now. And the two realtors that we dealt with, they understood that and they were fine. There was a guy and another lady that she kept dealing with outside of me knowing, and she take me to a house, they showed me, and they wanted all this financial information. And I was like, we haven't discussed this yet.
Because right then you were just looking.
Yeah, because we
I mean, I guess that part would make a little bit of sense to me. I mean, he could be lying, but that part would make a little bit of sense to me because she was saying that they were able to look through houses without like giving the proof of like finances in, which also makes sense to me. Her story does make sense too. But I guess this story would make a little bit of sense to me too. Because like, okay, if he actually is just thinking of that they're just like shopping around and not actually committing to something, all right, maybe. I don't know.
Me up on a Saturday and say I got an appointment at 12:30. We're gonna go look at this house, and I'm meeting these realtors and they telling me, oh, your wife contacted us and they, this is that and the third. And I said again, we're not committing to anything yet. And they understood that because I said right now her credit is here, mine is here. Like I said earlier, I got to get her here. So when we go into this house, because if I go into the house,
I mean, how quickly do you think you're gonna get her credit there? It would take like months or years to increase the credit up to a good spot. So like, what?
I'm buying it myself. Can you really say it's your house? You got to help me here.
When something didn't sit right, I would verbally record it in the audio diary because I was like, I don't know what it is, but there's something.
You said she had access to the account. She said the only thing that she saw was screenshots of like the account.
She had access to the two accounts I let her know about. I had 5 altogether, but she had access to them. She had access to those 2 accounts because I bled money into those accounts. Paycheck, and then I bled money in if needed be. She was able to go to the bank, buy what she wanted when she wanted to buy it.
He came to me.
Okay, but did she, what?
A few days after we started our first counseling.
Like, maybe he gave her a card? But which I would believe, sure, maybe. But what about the fact that she said it was just screenshots?
And he was like, we should get a joint bank account. So now he's suggesting that we're married now, let's go ahead and get a joint account. I wasn't necessarily against it because I knew that I would still have my own account, I would still have my own savings. So what I countered with was, okay, let's take a look and see what we're working with. Show me your checking, let's look at each other's accounts. So he shows me his checking account. His checking account available balance was just over $9,600. Mine was just over $1,500, so there was a huge disparity in the amounts. I logged into my savings, I showed him how much I had in savings. He logged into his phone, logged into his Chase savings, turned the phone toward
right, and these ended up just being apparently screenshots based on her own story in his second phone that he also used to talk to other girls.
In the Chase savings, it was roughly about $15,000. But I also knew that he told me he had a U.S. bank savings and he had an offshore savings. So at this point in time, I asked him, show me the U.S. bank savings, show me the other 2 accounts. And so he kept saying, he's like, there's a lot of money in there. And he was like, and my uncle always told me, just keep your money tight because women can be, I said, women, like, we're married. So
the family relationship thing is another thing that was big. She mentioned, getting up every morning, talking to your brother, from her conversation she had with your family, it was like seeming as if these people didn't have any contact with you. So who was on the phone?
We're at the point where I've spoken to the female.
Oh, it was Miguel, the guy that was like a brother to me.
Cousin. And she gave me the phone number for the older brother. For the purposes of this video, we're going to call him Chris. Chris was very nice. I called him. He was gracious. He was willing to answer whatever questions I had. And what he said to me was, he said, my brother has always been a liar. He's always been a liar. I explained to him.
This is the part of her story that really gives her credibility, because if she's lying, he should be able to instantaneously prove that she's lying by being like, yo, this is my actual brother. Like she's making this part of the story up.
About the phone calls. The fact that Legion would be on the phone for 30.
So then it's like, why would she make this lie up?
35 minutes, laughing, talking to Chris, relaying messages from Chris to me, and relaying messages from me to Chris. Without missing a beat, Chris says he was never talking to me.
Like I told you in the beginning, 2 gentlemen that looked out for my mom and dad passed away that became brothers to me, which is Elgin and Miguel. These are the guys that I would talk to in the morning time. My brother Elgin is, he's not, like I say, he's not my brother. He just, but
Brittany B
he's
just gifted 0 memberships.
0? It says 1. Thank you for the gift of membership. Oh, you. Thank you for giving my wife a gift of
Brittany
membership.
be gifted Mama got a membership.
Okay, so when it comes to this story, because I'm trying to stay, impartial, but I guess it could make sense that
Mama got became a member.
Thank you. It could potentially make sense that he was actually talking to people. Like, okay, so if they had a big falling out when his father had passed away, it kind of would make sense that he might have somebody else that he's calling a brother. Okay, that part of the story might add up. Potentially. Like, just to be clear, there's a truth somewhere between these two stories. I'm still leaning towards her considerably, but sure, that could make sense.
In the morning time, I love to get my day started. He give me a word of encouragement. He do to everybody's congregation. Just need something to get your day started. And he would call me in the morning just to help me get my day started. And I needed that. I was working my butt off back then. And if he didn't do that, then I don't know. Like I said, he cared enough to call, reach out. This man was busy every day. Still busy.
Okay.
And he just a hell of a pastor. But at the same time, again, not my blood brother, but he is my brother. And definitely somebody who, if I was ever going through anything, even to this day, reach out and same thing. Pray with me all the time and make sure I'm good and not.
I don't believe she saw a screenshot of his account and didn't realize it was a picture. It's possible. I mean, like, you might be right. It's possible that she just did one of these and was like, "There's my account," and like didn't let her touch it. You're scrolling. I would have scrolled too. It depends on how he showed it to her. You know what I mean? If he's just like, "Here you go." But yeah, you might be right. We'll see how it goes.
Here to tell me, "Hey, bro, you're wrong." He gave me marital advice, life advice, spiritual advice, and has been a real brother to me. Him and my his brother Miguel, which they're brothers. They're not my blood brothers, but they're my brothers. If you can understand what I'm saying.
Let me be very clear with the statement I'm getting ready to make. I reached out to every person I know who apparently has had some form of relationship with him. Either he said that they were friends, they talked on the phone, he said they hung out. The brother in Baltimore, I was told, had been to the house while I was at work. Brother in Baltimore said, no, that never happened. I've never been to your house.
So she was hearing people on the phone because she was saying she didn't hear nobody.
Well, it ain't no secret that neither cared for her too funny, but they accepted her because I loved her. So they accepted her, but neither really wanted a lot to do with her.
Why?
So I mean, I'm not, my brothers.
Why?
Are good dudes. Honestly, when I was younger, like I said, they looked out for me. I wouldn't have went to college if it wasn't for those two.
Why didn't they like her? I don't understand.
More so than my parents. My parents loved me every day, and they were definitely instrumental in me going to school. But these two shot me and cursed throughout college. Don't quit. Keep studying. You did your homework. What's up? Don't be in the club at nighttime. You go to the club, I'm gonna come kick your and would literally show up ready to beat the hell out of me if I got outside of doing what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
I think the issue with his knee was a symptom. That was not some football injury. That was not, I hit it at work. It wasn't that.
Yeah, I need him to talk about the football. Is he avoiding talking about foosball?
Something else was going on. I kept asking him to, let me know when you have a doctor's appointment. I'm gonna go with you. And he just kept saying the doctor. He's calling the doctor, and the doctor told him to just keep icing the knee. But I knew better.
What was wrong with your knee?
Nothing. Never happened.
Oh. Why would she make that up? Hey, thank you so much for the large gut, XOXO Breezy. I really appreciate that. That's fantastic. I genuinely mean that. I know sometimes I talk flatly, but thank you.
So you never had a knee injury? Was never?
Nope.
Wow. Did you have any incident at work at all that would cause that lie? I'm trying to figure out where that would even stem from.
Yeah, like why would she make that up?
No, nothing. The only thing even close to that is we got a little snow in Atlanta, and I slipped and bruised my elbow. Not no knee, nothing, limping, nothing. I walked just fine. My girlfriend will tell you that. I don't never had an injury with knees at all until I was in a car accident, and that was after her and I were divorced.
Okay.
She had mentioned about the knee because she was saying maybe it had stemmed from football, and then she had mentioned that hey, the football career, was never a thing. Like she could never find any, trace of that type of stuff. Is that, were you in the arena league or what did you tell her? Because it was stories about NFL, arena league. What league were you in?
Went to college, played, and then I went to college a little late because my parents didn't have the money, so I got a partial. Went out to San Diego, arena football for a couple of years, and then I just got a real job. That's it, basically.
Okay.
As simple as that.
I mean, I think that she said that he made a lot of money from investing or something. I don't know.
Wasn't nothing stellar. Did she look for it? Maybe not. I don't know. But like I said, it wasn't nothing to write home about. I did more getting not saying, and I don't want to talk about like football players like not a real job because it is a real job, but I think I did more after that part of my life than I ever did.
So you said you went to school in San Diego. You lived in California. That was true.
Yeah, I was there for school.
Okay, because she said she did some background research and that never popped up that you lived
that school they don't give you any student information. The reason they don't, I think it's 2003. Somebody went looking for somebody to college and they weren't there, but they gave information for the person and the person ended up getting killed. So their student policy is very strict.
Yeah, but she was your wife at the time, right? she was your wife at the time that she would have asked, so they probably would have given it to her. So that doesn't really make sense. I'm pretty sure that she went looking to see if he was a student there after they were married. No? I could be, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it was a very long thing. So, like, even if they are strict, which I imagine they would be, wouldn't they catch that? Because it's your wife. Wouldn't you be able to bypass that?
And we were told about that before I graduated. Student policy was changed, and it's very, very strict. If you are not alum, they're not going to. It's just their student policy is to keep everybody safe, keep people from not having shootings on campus. San Diego State is a place where they push your education. They may not be big on sports all the time, but they want you to grow, progress. And everybody I know, I went to school out there. Jennifer, Henry, my friends, like we all have done well because of what they taught us there.
It'd be pretty easy to see what team he was on if they knew the name. These teams post their rosters everywhere. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. If he's on a fucking sports team, you could easily find that out. All right. Epic liar. Why tell people you played football then? You know what I mean? Fuck.
But San Diego State,
just lie better, sir.
Everybody I went to college with, yeah. The funny part about the story, I heard more from them, like because a lot of them at the time, like, I told you not to marry that girl.
Why? Why were they saying don't marry her? Like, what were the red flags that they had noticed that you apparently didn't?
But she knew about it. She saw highlights, student pictures, me on all kind of stuff. But again, anything like Teresa's thing is anything to defame me, anything to make me look horrible. Yeah, I mean, I think she took everybody for a ride because she got paid from TikTok. She got cash app from people who sent her money. People sent her on trips, all this other stuff. And now this other one,
I think she's going to Paris.
Just come forward and talk about how she took this story, and people have reached out and spoke to me. And now they find out she lied. Now, again, she'll probably make a video after this video and say, "Oh, he lied again." That's fine too. The only reason, like I said in the beginning of this video, I came here, I want people to leave my family alone. People I love alone.
So the only reason that is like a big part of the story is because she said that you mentioned you were able to save up a lot of money from the arena football and able to start your life. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I rode the bench proudly for that paycheck and was able to finish paying for a little bit I owed for school. I was able to buy a very nice car, very nice house, and start my life off.
I'm so confused. You get paid for that? You get paid for a college team? Am I misunderstanding? You get paid for college football? Arena football?
Right. I mean, when you don't try to spend your money, like, you'd be amazed. Like, man, I used to shop for groceries in a dollar store out in California, like the Dollar Tree. Like, I used to go there. I would go to like Save a Lot. I would do whatever I need to do to save that money.
I don't think that Dollar Tree saves you any money, by the way. Shopping at Dollar Tree. Like, they've done like, I think they've done studies on that. You end up paying overall you end up paying more money per meal because you're not buying in some form of bulk. So I don't even think that that's true, but okay.
Because any day in arena football might be your last day. And it's not the same. Contract's not set up the same. None of that. So again, I did the smart thing and saving money. And these two gentlemen I told you about before, save your money, save your money, save your money. And they were very instrumental in telling me that. My father was still alive, so my father was like, yeah, save your money. Because tomorrow ain't promised to you. So make sure that you got something to fall back on, because when it's over, it's over.
I guess you can make money from arena football, but what is an arena football? What does that even mean? It's just a different type of football. I don't know. The story is weird. If he was in college, though, I feel like they don't usually pay, and I could be wrong, but like colleges are notorious for not paying their people, even though they get huge sponsorships and whatnot, and like different things. They still don't pay. It's like one of the problems that people have with them.
And for me, I probably still could have played, but I kind of outgrew it. I got tired of the hustle and bustle of it all, and I became more of a fan than the athlete. And at that point, it was time to do something else, and I did.
You said she's seen highlights and stuff like that from San Diego. Is that something you can share as far as like highlight or a picture of something that you play? Because she's basically saying, hey, that never even happened.
Okay, show us a picture.
So by this point, we're moving into
Show us a picture, and we'll believe you.
May of 2021. Things are starting to reopen. One of the things that reopened was San Diego State. There was instructions on how to request a transcript. I was able to try to request it online. You needed the student's name, and I believe you also need their social. And when I typed it in, it said no results found. I asked Legion, what's the deal about San Diego State? He's like, what are you talking about? And I said, why is there no records of you there? Just came right out and said it. Without missing a beat, this man said, well, I was a private citizen. What the fuck does that mean?
A lot of people, and I was asked not to, because this has brought a negative light on school. People who go there, brought negative light on people I work with. Now, my brother, his job, my other brother, his job, my family, my aunts, my uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, children, everybody. So
what about the arena lead? Do you have like a picture or something from there that
I told you before, when I talked to the owner of the team, he asked me, hey, because you got fans returning tickets because of this stuff with Teresa, I'm not gonna stop another football player from eating.
I don't believe that in the slightest, that there are fans returning stuff because of the thing with Teresa. I just don't. Why would they do that? Why would people be like, I was gonna go see this arena football, but now I found out such and such played 25 years ago or whatever. I'm not gonna go now. That doesn't even make sense to anybody. Listen, man, you're losing me. You're losing me, sir. Do you have a picture of you? No, I can't show it. Well, what is it? What would it matter if you did show it? What would it matter if you did show it? Like, it's a fucking, you would have, I imagine that you would have a fucking picture from 25 years ago on your football days. You don't have a single picture from the old foosball days laying around. Other coaches like, oh, don't show it. Because then what? We already know the school. They just said it again. What the fuck would it matter? This doesn't even make sense. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. This wouldn't change anybody's mind about seeing this football team. Whatever. What?
I was asked not to, and then legally, I had to sign paperwork that I wouldn't.
What, like this?
What? Legally what?
Close like the teams you were on?
What?
I was asked not to. Because you had people.
What are you talking about? Legally with what? What did you talk? What legal? What? What are you talking about? This is where it doesn't even make sense to me. Maybe I'm like wildly ignorant, but what the fuck are you talking about? What are you signing a paper for? Legally, I was asked not to talk about. For what reason? Like what? Like to me, it's like the same thing as when YouTubers make apologies and go, "I've been going to therapy." It's like, what does that mean? Like, have you been, or are you just saying that? And that's what he's doing. He's like, oh, yeah, I can't do it because I signed a paper. For what reason? What prompted this conversation? What prompted you to sign a piece of paper? That would prove that would be massive. If he was just able to prove that he was on the team. He's like, yeah, here you go. I'm on the team. Oh, wow. That kind of throws a wrench in Reesa Teesa's story.
Wouldn't have gotten that far, but you had people, and as it was told to me, you got people who jumped on and said, oh, it's going to be a Tubi movie. Oh, it's going to be Netflix. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And it's not true. But the point is, you got owners of a team. I'm not going to be portrayed. I would love to watch a Tubi movie about this. This would be fucking amazing. The bad, like, they don't want to be. You see what I'm saying? That means they got to answer questions. And again, it took me so long to do a response video because I had people come to me and say, not just you, some other people say to me, hey, let me get your side of the story, but they weren't credible. A digital creator, no, we're not, you're not telling the truth.
So this random, I don't even know who Simply Wavy is, was like, what? What are you talking about? Who's approaching you with anything? Nobody knows who you actually are. Like, how did this guy approach you? Would he find your Instagram? I don't understand. Like, how there wasn't even any identifiable information there. Nobody would have been able to reach out to you. You would have had to reach out to somebody else. What?
I had to look you up before we did this to see. I had a cousin offer me to do something, but I'm like, no, you might be in it for money too. And that's not the case. I'm not here for money. If I make money off this video, okay, but
why would you make any money? You're doing an interview with somebody else. What the fuck are you talking about?
Here because, again, I want my family left alone. Money is not my issue.
So from that transition,
what?
Do you was it a certain amount that you saved that you would disclose or no?
No, I'm not going to disclose how much I saved. I saved enough to get the springboard into life because after I stopped, I was 6 months without a job and I was good every day. And I was able to, finish paying off the house out there and do a lot of stuff on vacation. I got a job and I enjoyed that job to the point where it became a career and I loved it every day.
For him to say that he appreciates law enforcement so much, it was obviously a lie because
oh yeah, he was doing weekend court, whatever the fuck that is.
History showed that he had been
weekend jail.
Arrested for criminal trespassing. He had been arrested for suspended license, suspended registration. But the big thing was impersonating an officer. If you don't know anything about impersonating an officer, it is a felony. Period. Point blank.
Okay.
As sure as Peachtree runs from Bankhead to Buckhead, it is a felony.
Stolen valor. Yeah, I saw a kid the other day in the store with the fucking police officer uniform on. He thought it was so cute. It said Paw Patrol on it. I said, "What's your badge number, sir?" Couldn't even fucking talk. Had to call the cops on him. It's fucked up.
So, seeing what court it was in, I did another open records request for the incident report. I wanted to know exactly what the circumstances were, especially given the fact that I worked in law enforcement at the time. What were the circumstances as to how he was arrested for impersonating an officer? So I did an open records request. I got the incident report, and I'm tired of saying my jaw hit the floor. But on this one, my jaw hit the fucking floor.
Damn, her jaw hit the floor.
You said that your current girlfriend had did the background check. So the weekend jail in the story, was that a thing?
That was a friend of mine that used my license, and he had to do weekend jail, not me. And I took him because he did not have a car.
Your friend that used your license had to do weekend jail? What the fuck are you talking about? What? How does jail work to this guy? A friend took my license? What the fuck is he talking about?
So I would drop him off because the jail he had to go to, you couldn't leave your car. So I would get off work, drop him off, pick him up Sunday, 6 o'clock.
So that's what the receipts or whatever those things were in the bag? That's from him?
Yeah, and that one.
But didn't she verify this? She ran his name.
He used to come to my house and dry clothes and wash clothes. And he left his bag. And that was all it was in it was a folder.
Okay, whatever. I don't even believe you. I'm pretty sure I swear to God, she just told us that she verified it. Am I just like wrong or dumb or something? This lie is so fucking outstanding. What the hell is he talking about?
with that stuff because he had to prove that to his job that I can't work weekends and I'm in weekend jail. That's it.
As far as the like the impersonating the officer story,
that's something she got. That's something she got. That's something that happened with D, and she just used that. That's not me. Never.
So that's
did
not you either.
Nope.
Okay, because that Tashawn guy had said the same thing.
You know, he done been in trouble a few times. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I had not yet gone online into the court system to see what type of trouble he's been in. And so he explained to me, he was like, just run his criminal history and you'll see it for yourself.
Yeah, she ran his actual criminal history. Like, you're rewriting history with this one, boy. What are you doing? Brother? I didn't mean like boy in that way. Sorry.
He said, because I don't know all the charges, but run his criminal history.
There's some family members, admittedly, I don't deal with. There's a lot of people, and they're going to hear this and probably have a problem, but I don't have to lie. Again, there's a lot of people on my mom's side of the family I absolutely just don't deal with. There's some people on my mom's side of the family I do deal with.
Okay.
I got a cousin that called me up, and he was like, I'll do a video with you and help you out. And he really trying to help. Like, but he always, my little
Yeah, I'm sure he's really trying to help you out, buddy.
cousin, he always been the same dude. I can tell you from a little kid to a grown man, he always been the same dude. I joke and call him Cool Breeze because, I mean, I'm telling you, he can come into a room and be.
And just fart everywhere, and it's a cool breeze.
You good? Yeah, you good. And he just that kind of family member. If I ever wanted to call him and say anything to him, talk to him, ask him, he always just been that dude. He a married man, love his kids. He a good dude. Like I said, I got nothing against him because he one of the people in my family that he might be younger than me, but I can tell you right now, dude is wise as the old owl. You know what I'm talking about? Cause we just talked today on the phone, and he offered, let me do the video with you. You know, you get this money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't in it for the money. And the way they spinning it, like I'm this horrible person, Legion, Lord, you narcissistic. I how many times I'm wrong a day? Like most of the day, I'm wrong all day long. I let her, like even on the man in relationship, I allow her to leave because I don't know. I think I'm good at being wrong, but I don't mind because you got somebody to stand beside you that will, and I trust her enough that if I don't know, she know. I'm a man who I can admit that I'll fall short somewhere and she'll pick up. She's smarter than me anyway, and I'm good with that. I'm okay with that.
Cool.
As long as one of us.
I think you switched for the 15-month small gut from intense reality. Thank you so much.
No, that's cool. You know, I'm starting calling her Google because stuff I don't know, I just be like, hey, or Siri.
So he pulls up. It's only.
Well, I don't think narcissism just means that you don't think you're ever wrong. I mean, it's more weight to that. I think it's when you're like obsessed with yourself and, it's bigger things. Like you don't think that you're the problem. It's like, it's one thing to be wrong about what 2 + 2 is. It's another thing to be wrong about like a particular fight or argument, you know?
Been a week since I saw him. It has been months since my aunt saw him. Okay. She had no idea of the condition that he was in. Again, I'm telling y'all, when I met him and he met my family, he was like a size 3X. In just a short span of time for a week, he easily could have been in an extra large.
Oh yeah, did he get AIDS or something?
Maybe even a large, but was wearing 3X clothes.
So you mentioned the knee, that wasn't an issue. So was the losing weight story, was that a real thing?
That's going to the gym because you realize you're overweight and you want to be thinner. That was me looking in the mirror, not happy what I'm looking at, and then I went to the gym.
Yeah, but she said you lost the weight in like less than a month. You don't go from a 3X to a 1X in like a month. That's unhealthy.
Like I was at one point like 310. I was like, no. And I started going to the gym after work. There's nothing else but me going to the gym, eating better, eating right. Stop going to McDonald's, dodging Krispy Kreme, Mrs. Winter's Chicken down in Atlanta. That's it.
But okay, so that makes sense.
That doesn't make sense at all because you would imagine both of them would be going through like a similar health journey together since they're married. So I don't know if I believe that.
But she said in the condition that she seen you losing weight was you coming back with the same clothes and not, smelling like you've been living in the car. Like, so was that true or no?
Lies.
You said that you left, so basically you sleeping in the car and everything after you moved out, that was not a real thing?
No.
Where were you sleeping?
I went home.
Okay, so the behavioral, I think you said
at this point you guys were married. So what do you mean you went home? You were married. That was your home. What?
To a behavioral correction hospital or something like that. That wasn't true?
Lies. The only thing I did at a behavioral hospital, I knew a guy that went there.
It's interesting because he's saying that like, oh, I had my own house and then we bought a house together. But it's like, yeah, but at this point of the story, you're married. So why would you have a second house? I don't even believe that. I don't believe any of this. He still hasn't even said what job he supposedly did to make him a bunch of money. Like, yeah, he made some money apparently playing arena football. There's no way you're making that much money doing that. I mean, you didn't even play it probably. I don't even think you did play it because you can't provide any pictures. There's no evidence. People would have found this already. You weren't on like the registry or whatever. It's obviously that you didn't even go there or play. What is he talking about?
And I helped him get a job. He got out. A friend of mine.
There's so many things that like she said that if they were false, it would have been easy to prove false. And so this should have been a slam dunk for him if she's actually lying.
Omar, he asked me for a job. I got him a job.
Was this part true then? Her kicking you out on June 2021 on your birthday?
No, I was gone a week before that. I went home to my house because the marriage didn't last very long, but it didn't grow because I was still doing the same thing. I was still at my house coming there on the weekend. There was
what? Why?
No growth on her part. Finances, there was no growth. I was maintaining the bills in the house.
Who cares? Like she was making decent money. Like that doesn't even matter. What do you mean there's no growth on that part?
I didn't need her help, but again, I asked her for help because I'm taking care of everything here. By that time, I had bought her another car because that Nissan Rogue just drove.
Why would you need her help? Like, sell your other house if you. I didn't need her help, but I wanted her help. So why didn't you sell the other house that you supposedly had to help pay? So you had less expenses going on. What job did you work that you could afford 2 whole houses?
I mean, nuts. She was paying too much, so I got her out of that, which made a lot of stuff easier. And she liked that car, and I was trying to consolidate to show her, hey, you can live well, but you don't have to spend all this money all the time. Like we talked about it, and we talked about moving into that house, my house. I'm trying to show you a better way of living. If you got a wife and you have a better way of living, you're supposed to show.
What do you mean? What? We talked about her moving into your house. Why would you commit to a new house that you would get? Dude, what?
Are you supposed to? The thing is, they offered a promotion. She didn't take it. She started working more and bringing in less.
What made her not take it though?
What she told me is that her boss was an idiot and she hated him, and that meant that she was going to work closer with him. What she told me.
Whatever. I mean, I could believe a woman wouldn't take a fucking promotion. I don't know why women are weird, but like, I don't believe any of what he's saying.
At the time that this all happened, I was pregnant. So he felt like, look, we're about to have a baby. I don't want you driving that Nissan Rogue to get you something. I want to get you something more secure, something new. I really wanted a Kia. And he was like, well, let's look at the warranty. This man knew a lot about cars. He knew a lot about the warranty. He knew a lot about the depreciation value. And so he did talk to me a lot about what will we get the most for our money. He really wanted me to get a BMW X5. So he calls Eric. He tells Eric in front of me, hey, I need to transfer $72,526, whatever the amount was, because I'm buying a car for my fiance. So he said, okay, well, let me call them back and change the delivery date. Can you be home, or can you do a half day? So he's asking me, can you work a half day so that they can deliver the car and you will be home for it? He told me the car would be delivered between the hours of 1 and 3.
You did get a car. Didn't she get a car? I'm just saying, so if it's a promise, then it sounds like I kept my promise. Not trying to be mean or anything. You got a car. Now the car she wanted, no, because you're not helping me out here, and that I'm gonna make it affordable for myself. And there's no disrespect to nobody driving a Nissan Altima, because it's 2020 and on above. They're very nice cars. She had everything, Apple CarPlay, everything, all-wheel drive. I mean, auto start, everything. But I'm not buying BMW, and your credit stinks. And I'm trying to get you out of debt, because if you're in debt and we're married, that means we're in debt. So I'm trying to get you out of this hole, so financially you can be stable. You can't help me.
So then why would you have 2 houses? Or, I mean, I think that they rented the other one together. But why wouldn't you just sell your house if you want to get her finances in check? I don't know. This doesn't make sense.
If you work in a job and you're making $33,000 a year and I'm making 96, it's a big old difference here. So at the end of the day, I'm trying to get you, when they offer her the promotion, like I said.
Well, why are you making 96 and she's making 33? What are you doing? Why don't you tell us?
Why didn't you take it? I found out later why she didn't take it, because you were spending extra time with this dude.
So was the BMW ever talked about? Did you ever promise her like a better car or a more expensive car?
I told her all the features that she was talking about. I said, you will fit better in a BMW. But I said the challenge about putting you in a BMW and trying to teach her something is, you got to work for it. I'm not going to just give you an $80,000 car because I'm your husband and you deserve it. I understand that part, but you got to learn the value of a buck. We just can't go out here all.
I don't believe any of this. I don't know. Like I mean, this is an incredibly condescending way to talk to your partner. Like, fundamentally what he's saying isn't necessarily wrong. Like, hey, I can't just buy you everything. I could believe that. But the way that he's expressing it in such a condescending nature, I just don't know if I don't know if I believe that you were talking to her like this and that she would have put up with it. So
the time, you got to understand the value of something, and you don't want to work for it. So help me help you. Because right now at this point, I'm taking care of all these bills here. I'm taking care of, help me help you. How do we do that? How do we come together, bring these finances together? Now, the only part of that story that she told that was true, did I hide money from her? Yeah, I did. I absolutely did. Over 50% of what I was worth, I hid from her. I did.
And were those in the offshore accounts and stuff like that?
Yes.
So did you do that because you felt like she wasn't
my wife popped in and said, just popping in is a pathological liar lying. That seems to be the case.
Financially smart with what she had, and
that's the main reason. I'm gonna say this for any man that's gonna watch this. When you get married, you do not need to you need to tell her about all your finances. I'm telling you that now. That wasn't right on my part. My reasoning is my reasoning, and I'm not saying it was right. I think it was wrong, and I should have disclosed it to her. But we're talking about somebody that I got married to. You have about $401 in the bank account. You had credit card debt, student loan debt, and you paying $550 a month for a 2009 Nissan Rogue with 250,000 miles on it.
Okay.
Like, she wasn't making financial smart decisions when I met her. I was trying to help out. Taking care of the bills is this way to stress off of her. The only bill I actually gave her to do is, hey, you take care of the grocery bill, you pay your cell phone bill, and you pay your car insurance. The rest of your money you put in your pocket. Do what you got to do. I'll take care of it.
Well, she said that.
Take care of these student loans.
She said that he was paying for a lot of the bills. But he was lying about what job he had. So it sounded like he was trying to put on a performance, pretending to be like his brother. Again, get that guy to come forward and say that like she's lying. That's all you really have to do if she's such a liar. But I guess the whole thing is that the implication is that there's this conspiracy narrative I think they're all working together or something.
loans. This is why I did that. You take these student loans to bring your credit up. So this way we can be a team when it comes to stuff like that. But again, like I said, I don't want to get nobody make the mistake. I'm not saying that, hey, me not telling her about all the money is the right thing to do. That was absolutely wrong. But at the time, I wasn't trying to jump down the rabbit hole of being in her debt.
This is not someone that you forget. This is not a situation that, you know, man, I don't even remember him. No. What I don't remember is the version of myself before I met him. Nothing so far has turned out to be true. The only thing that Chris was able to tell me is true is that, number one, yes, there is a brother in Philly, him. Yes, there is a brother in Nashville, the twin. Yes, both parents are deceased. That is what I was told from the beginning. Those pieces of information are true. And the uncle, he said, which uncle is he talking about? Because if you guys remember, back in one of the parts, I talk about where he said his uncle was giving him advice on why he should not open up his savings account to let me see it. He would not let me see it. And so I'm telling Chris about the uncle, and he was like, that uncle been dead for years. I told him about Junebug. He said, dude, Junebug been dead for years. And I said, Chris, he was having conversations with Junebug on the phone in front of me. He was like, it wasn't Junebug.
What's the whole ordeal with Junebug?
Who?
They were mentioning Junebug, and that was somebody you frequently talked to, and she was saying, man, ain't that crazy what happened to Junebug, as if,
oh, that's not a real person.
like, he had passed away.
I don't know who the heck that is.
Yeah, there you go. Even though apparently everybody has a Junebug in their family out there, he doesn't know who it is.
I don't know nothing about that. The only person that passed away is a friend of mine. His name is Eric. He was in a car accident.
Junebug was supposed to be family.
I wonder if he just doesn't. I mean, honestly, if he is lying, which he seems to be, I wonder if he just doesn't even remember what is and isn't a lie, or like how far he lied. I mean, I don't know.
No, nobody in my family called Junebug. Eric was a friend of mine who was in an accident. He went through a rough time. He was a military guy. PTSD bothered him. Me and a lot of people that knew him, we tried to get him help. He drunk a lot, and one night he got drunk and he just off the road. Fatal car accident. I went to St. Louis to bury him with a lot of friends of mine. She knew about that. Yeah, excuse me on that one. That's a really good friend of mine. He somebody that I gotta say, if I had to say best friend, he was one of them. He real supportive dude. He had a rough life, honestly.
Sad stuff, brother.
Alcohol.
I have been dying to go to London and Paris. This is something, if you know me, you know she wants to see Paris, she wants to see London. So I get home from work. This is the beginning of March. I get home from work, and on the counter is a folder with like a little bow on it. And I'm like, oh, what is this? Is this like mail? Like, was this something that you got at work? He's like, no, it's a surprise for you. I open up the folder. Inside the folder is like a trip itinerary. It is not.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this. And then they never went because they couldn't get passports.
Not an actual booked trip. It's like an itinerary. A trip for two to go from Atlanta to London.
So what about the London trip? Was the London trip ever promised?
I never said nothing to her about going to London.
Y'all never talked about going on a trip? Y'all never talked about going out the country or anything?
Savannah. Back to Philly to see family. Never say anything about going out of the country.
Why? So where do you think she's getting these things from then?
Well, I read the story that the lady put up about her husband, and I'm getting the word that.
I mean, listen, so far, because again, this is just he said, she said, but so far, your own family, and again, you could prove this wrong, thinks you're a big liar. This is easy to prove wrong. All you have to do is go talk to your brother and have him set the record straight. But apparently she's in communication. That would be so easy to fucking figure out that it was a lie. So I doubt she's lying there. And then the whole the whole fucking football thing. Like, all you have to do, these things are so verifiable. Like, if these were lies from her perspective, all she would have to do, you could do is go, boom, here's a picture of me in football. Boom, here's my brother saying, though, she's lying. So, like, that's all you have to do. And once one lie is detected, where her whole story falls apart. Because if she lied about one thing, who's to say she's not lying about, like, a lot of things? Right?
Now that Teresa copied a lot of this story from this woman's story. But as far as her and I discussed, we never discussed it. Not once. Where's she getting it from? Your guess is as good as mine. Or just to make her story sound better, I guess. Because that's all I can gather, because we never had those discussions.
So
I just doubt that. Especially if you're a guy paying a lot of the bills. I could absolutely see you going like, oh, you want to go to fucking France or whatever, or Paris or whatever the fuck it was? Oh yeah, I want to take you one day.
When we got married, the first 2 weeks, like I said, was fine. And then it's as if something snapped. Totally acceptable before. Suddenly, little comments were made. Why are you wearing that to work? You get off at 3:30, so you'll be home by 5, right? Things that had never happened before. He had never questioned what time I'd be home. When I'm off work, I leave. So, he would call me every day from work. And I'm going to demonstrate how those phone calls went. But he would call me every day from work. And if he even so much as heard a male voice in the background, he would have little comments to me. Who's that? Are they in your office? Man.
You fucking that guy?
I never know who's around you. It seems like every time I call you, there's some man around.
Someone's wife approached me. One of her coworkers' wives approached me. I had just went to her job to take her to lunch. We went to lunch. Went back, dropped her off, went on back.
Why? Why are you taking a coworker's wife to lunch? What?
About my day. I was in the parking lot of her job.
Hold on.
And
I want to rehear.
Someone's wife approached me.
Someone's wife approached me.
One of her coworkers' wives approached me. I just went to her job to take her to lunch. We went to lunch.
Okay, I'm assuming he meant that he was taking his wife to lunch.
Went back, dropped her off, went on about my day. I was in the parking lot of her job. A woman approached me, she said she needed to talk to me. And at first I was like, who are you? What you want? She kind of told me a little bit, and she said, you really want to talk to me? I did follow her out of there because they worked at like this complex for Georgia State Patrol. Follow her out of the complex, follow her to a Burger King. We sat in the Burger King. She broke out her phone. She showed me like the teddy bear camera thing. And it's Teesa and her husband they having sex. It's like, and this ain't the first time she's been there. This woman's chronicle through all of this. Now, when I found out about it, I didn't say nothing to her. I went on every day for about 2 weeks. I wrestled with how to say something to her. So the woman kept reaching out to me. Have you said something? Have you said something? So she said, I'm not gonna wait. So she blasted her husband. I don't know. I think they got into a fight. I don't know the whole story. All I know is she put him out, and she called me and said, I'm on my way over to Teresa's house. Excuse me. And I know they there right now. You best get your ASS there because I'm about to go kick in the door. I go over there. She had not got there yet. I go in the door. I go upstairs. She in there with him. They doing their thing. I just shut the door. I come downstairs. Now I'm mad at this point. And before I could
wait, hold on. This story doesn't make sense. What?
React, go kick in the door. I don't know. I think they got into a fight. I don't know the whole story. All I know is she put him out. And
so she put him out.
She called me and said, I'm on my way over to Teresa's house. Excuse me. And I know they there right now. You best get your ASS there because I'm about to go kick in the door.
This doesn't make any sense to me. So the guy that and listen, I think that she admitted to cheating on him after he cheated on her. So her story makes sense. I remember that. I was like, okay, like he was fucking around with like prostitutes and shit. He was talking to a bunch of other girls, so that pissed her off, and she cheated on him. She kind of like lightly threw that out there, which I mean, I respect the honesty. But she was apparently doing a coworker. The coworker, what? Got kicked out. So he was at your house that you didn't know. Somehow you didn't know. She's like, oh, it's at Teresa's place. You live there, so it's your place. And he wouldn't have communicated to her that, like, oh, I got kicked out. So my wife found out. Maybe your husband did too. What?
I go over there. She had not got there yet.
I like how he says, "Oh, it's Teresa's place. That's your house, dude. That's your place. You're living there, like full time." What are you talking? Oh no, right? He's lying and saying that he lives in his house. This doesn't make sense. What?
Go in the door. I go upstairs. She in there with him. They doing their thing. I just shut the door. I come downstairs. Now I'm mad at this point, and before I can react, the lady comes, knocks on the door. I open the door. She ready to push past me. We get to tussling. I'm trying to tell her you can't go upstairs. She ready to go upstairs and do something to both of them.
So you're saying that your wife is in bed with another man, and you're this passive about it? I mean, if you are telling the truth, you're a loser. Like this doesn't make sense. You're a fucking loser. Yeah, my wife was upstairs with another man, and I wouldn't let the girl go in there and do something, and I wouldn't. So you're just like calmly assessing the situation. Like, dude, I don't believe this. Like, you're fucking pathetic. I found out like 2 weeks prior, and I didn't do anything about it. And dude, that's super gay. What are you talking? It's not gay. Sorry, that's super cringe. Like, that's pathetic. You didn't do shit about it. Why wouldn't you go and like hit her? Not her. Sorry. Never do that. But if my wife cheated on me, I don't know. I would never do that. Of course, I would wait 2 weeks and then, not let the other person's husband attack her or whatever. I'm just kidding. Anyway, what the fuck is he? This doesn't make any sense.
I end up calming her down. He comes flying downstairs. He comes flying out.
Like, what were you watching?
The house. He jumped in his car, and she don't say nothing to me. She's like, I'm about to get his ass, and she just jumped in her car. And she gives chase. I don't know what happened with them two. Whatever happened with that, I know later on they reconcile and they together and they live in Charlotte.
All right, so you're a cuck.
I know that was the end of
you're a cuck.
That relationship with Teresa and him. Teresa come downstairs. She said, you don't know what you seen. And I'm like, well, you came down in the bathrobe when you told me you're supposed to be at work. You're clearly not at work. And I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna just leave. I don't want to do nothing to you, and I don't want to. I'm a black man. It's Atlanta. I don't want to. I was angry. Yeah, I was angry. I mean, I was real angry. I mean, I flipped over a couch. I mean,
so you were angry, but you found out about this 2 weeks prior or a week prior. What?
Because she kept following around the house, and I said, let me get the hell out of here.
This story doesn't make fucking sense.
I got in my car. I left.
Yeah. So this happened at her job, and then the wife found out, and then the wife kicked her husband out. But then she didn't put two and two together. My wife, they go, oh shit, maybe So I let him move in or come over to my house because even though we're married, I was at my actual house for the weekend. Oh right, he has to tell people that he was at his own house for the weekend because he was on weekend jail. I fucking, there's so many lies I have to keep track. That's why he says he has his own house, because he has to justify where is he on the weekend. He's in weekend jail. That's where he's at. So the story is that she had him come over her affair and live with him over the weekend while you were in weekend jail, but then you wouldn't be able to get out of weekend jail. But if it was during the week, you would have been living with your wife. So how would none of this make sense? There's none of this makes any sense. Yeah. The big house. Yeah, he was in the big house. Did he flip the couch before or after the guy traditioned his wife? I don't get it. What the fuck? This doesn't make any sense.
Took the long way home, 285. I got home and I blocked her from my phone, everything. I just had nothing to say.
I got home. I blocked her from my phone. I couldn't talk to her because I was in weekend jail. They don't let you have phones there.
And I went silent on her for 2 whole weeks.
Okay.
When I contacted her again, we met in Cobb County. We sat down, we talked. She apologized, and I told her I don't know if I can get with it. At this point, I went down, followed her back to the house. I took a lot of stuff of mine out of the house. The only thing I left in there was a TV and some clothes. We started going to counseling. The first counselor, she didn't like it. She didn't like the lady because the lady told her after about 3 sessions, the lady was like, well, the cause y'all here is because you cheated. She tried to say it was because I didn't tell her about money. The lady was like, well, both of y'all wrong. You wrong for cheating, you wrong for not telling about money. She didn't like that. We got a second counselor. She didn't like this lady. The gentleman, it kind of went the same way.
I don't think I believe any of this.
She didn't like him. So then we got a third counselor.
The story just makes no fucking sense.
Which is a pastor and his wife that he used to be a coworker.
Yeah, he's being a gentleman and letting her finish getting cummed in by another man.
For hers. So we started doing like Zooms like this because even though COVID was dying down, they thought it'd be better if we meet like this. So I would come over and we would sit down in front of the computer and we would Zoom in and we would talk. After a couple of, I'd say about 3 months of this. It might be a little longer, but I think it's about 3 months of this. In the counseling, it just seems like she wasn't budging.
What was she not budging on? What was her issue?
He is in the bed.
She loves fucking this other guy, apparently.
Sleep. I get his phone. I ain't gonna lie. I got his phone. He had a work phone and he had a personal phone. It was the work phone that he had from the condiment company that apparently was never turned in. But he did not wipe the phone, if y'all know what I mean. And I see this would have been text messages. Text messages between him and a woman named Peaches. I'm reading the thread because he's knocked out sleep. So I'm in the bathroom with the door locked, reading the thread. Apparently Peaches, there's no nice way to say it. Apparently Peaches was a prostitute. In the text messages.
Yeah, let's hear about Peaches' $80 no condom blowjobs.
She's listing the prices. He asked for a hand job. She told him it would be like $40. He asked how much would it be for oral because it was $16.80. One was the
Big
price.
Teddy Bojangles super chatted
$1.99.
$1.99 from Big Daddy Bojangles. Hey Papa, first time Gunig to the stream.
The wrong phone. Conveniently, the one time she went to check your phone. Okay.
Picked his up off the desk, went home. He had some mistress call his phone, and that's when I realized it wasn't my phone. So I hit him on his line. I said, somebody calling your phone. And he's like, yeah, we switched phones. I need to come get my phone. And I was like, well, you can come get it. I'll give it to you at work tomorrow. So I met him at work the next day. He was like, yo, like, I'm sorry. It's my side chick, whatever. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to know nothing about that. Take your phone. And I just quoted company policy.
Yeah, definitely makes sense to me. You're right. This makes sense to me. It's interesting how all these wacky, zany things are happening to him. And she was able to manipulate the narrative and make it seem like he was a bad guy. But it was just like an oopsie poopsie, It's just like a silly little thing that happened. Oops. Okay. Hey, wife, I took home my friend's phone on accident. Okay. But then again, was apparently after you no longer worked as the major condiment man. You had left that job to work at Apple, selling people the Apple i thing. I don't know.
So that we're not supposed to use these for personal use. So because those company phones, you got a different iCloud, but the HR has that iCloud, so they can see your messages. So at that point, I get home, she tells me I went through the phone or whatever because we weren't allowed to lock those phones either. So she went through.
What? That doesn't even make sense. You're not allowed to lock the phones? That's a lie. That's just a flat out lie. If anything, the company would have a policy that you have to lock the phone because they would imagine that there might be sensitive information that could get out by people if they stole the phone. I don't even believe this. My mom used to have like a work phone because she worked for like White Castle. She was, she was like the regional, not the regional. She was an area supervisor. If you got the password wrong too many times, it would wipe your entire phone. This doesn't. Oh, you weren't allowed a password. That's a lie. There's no way. They would force you to have a password. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Who does he think he's fooling?
the phone. I guess he was sending messages to the mistress or whoever, and then she assumed it was me. And I'm like, no, that's him and whatever. And he actually came over and told her, hey, look, I apologize. That's the chick I'm dealing with on the side. Like, he explained it. So
that's the story about Peaches, right?
Yeah. So let me just get this straight. This guy was cheating on his wife with another girl, and he somehow took the wrong phone home. But then you would imagine he was using his work phone, probably mostly at work, to talk to his mistress, because when he got home, he would have turned that phone off. So he probably would have been more aware that he had the right phone, because that would have been like the final time he would be able to talk to her. I don't know. None of this makes any sense to me.
Yeah, that's some chick he was messing with. That's some chick he was messing with.
So you already talked about that and reconciled that.
Yeah, the only reason I had contact with her is because afterwards, one day I was getting off work and she was in the parking lot looking for him. and I just told her, like, you gotta get out of here for security show. We had a secure parking lot, and I'm like, you gotta get out of here for they get in. And like, that's the only contact I ever had with her. I found out later that she didn't take a promotion because her and the guy, that would have cut into the time they were spending time together. Because she used to tell her mom that I was never home.
You just told us like 10 minutes ago that the reason she didn't take the promotion was because she didn't like her boss and he was an asshole. Now you're telling us that it was because she cheated. Why wouldn't you just mention that in the first place? Why wouldn't you just say, like, yeah, I later found out that she cheated, but she made this excuse originally? Why would you? What were you leaving us on a cliffhanger? Are you your fucking storyteller? What the fuck? What are you talking about?
I leave the house 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll be home 2:45. Right. So she worked till like 3:30. I wouldn't see her till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. She'd be like,
right, but then he was also going to the gym at night, guys. That's how he lost 2 XLs in a month.
At work. It was all signs, but I ignored him because she was my wife, and I'm just saying she's trying to work hard. But your hours didn't match because she would get paid, and they would give her a stub. They do a direct deposit, but she would get a stub. Now I had access to her account. She had access to the 2 that I let her know about. So I would see the stub, and the hours would add up. And then, you saying you're making more money because you're working hours, but your hours were the same. Her schedule never changed. She didn't do any overtime. She didn't have to work over on special projects. None of that.
It's pretty much everything we talked about so far.
He was building tension and suspense. True.
It is a lie, according to what you're saying.
Unfortunately, yes. Why this? In my opinion, this was done simply because I left. I said enough is enough.
But why so long? But why so long though? Because you left a long time ago. It wasn't like it was yesterday.
You have to ask her. When I left,
I just doubt that. I mean, this is so this, like, if she lied, you'd be able to prove it instantly, but you just can't. So I'm pretty sure it's the truth.
The situation, it ain't no secret. I said to people before. I called friends of mine, friends back in California. Talked to both my brothers, or they're not my brothers, but we're just gonna say Miguel and Elgin. But I talked to them because they were my confidants. Another friend of mine, we talked. Another buddy of mine, Omar, we talked, and it was just the consensus was that I couldn't do it anymore. I called her cheating. It was too much. I talked to the guy's wife. She had called them. She showed me video of them two in the house together. Everything. Her, if she was ever wrong, anything. She kept talking about a work phone and all this stuff. And I'm like, I gotta have 2 phones for work because I'm not gonna. It's my job. The nature of my job. I had to have 2 phones. Simple as that. She had a password to both of them.
It is very hard to comprehend.
There's your verifiable lie. She had the password to both of them, guys. Even though he had just told us that his job's company policy was that you cannot lock your phone. She still had the password to the unlocked phone. Why would she have the password to both phones if they were? You just told us that you wouldn't need that you were not allowed to lock the phone. Oh my god. This is embarrassing, dude. There's so many lies. You just can't make it up. You just can't keep it up, dude. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. This guy's a fucking idiot, bro. Holy shit. He's so dumb. What a fucking dummy. He's so dumb.
Hint that everything is a lie. Like, there has to be something that's true. Still July 2021. I finished going through the book bag. There were some other folders with papers in there. He had left the work phone. What I actually found out was that it was not a work phone. It was simply a secondary personal phone. He told me it was a work phone. I thought,
well, you got to be those on-call forklifts certified, guys.
That the company was paying for the work phone, but I found receipts where it was a prepaid phone, and he's paying to add minutes to it. So it's just receipts of, you added minutes to the phone on this date, you added minutes on that date. Work phone, whole thing, that was a bold-faced lie. Obviously, it was a lie because, as we now know, he was a forklift loader.
Were you ever like a forklift driver? That's what somebody was mentioning.
The charity work that I used to do.
Guys, it was my charity work doing the forklift operation. I've never heard of a charity where you do forklifts, but okay. Oh, and by the way, I even though we were married, I still went to weekend. I lived in my own house on the weekend. That's not weekend jail, though, guys. It wasn't weekend jail, guys. Oh my god.
I got a forklift license because the charity work used to do. They load the trucks and they send them to disaster areas. They feed the homeless. So I learned to drive a forklift.
What? Disaster areas to feed the homeless. I mean, I could get on board with the narrative that you were helping feed the homeless, but disaster areas? Would you guys go to fucking Haiti? Like, I don't understand. You guys go to Hawaii? Where would you go? What are you talking about?
Doing that kind of work, and I got a license to do it. I even got a license to train other people to do it, but that was charity work. That's me doing charity work, me feeding homeless, me helping people out. And I just wanted to do something. My mom was that kind of person.
So what was your actual job?
And for me, it just made me feel good. It wasn't about recognition. It just something made me feel good.
You talking about the picture? You talking about a picture?
Yeah, it was a warehouse because they pack up food to give to disaster areas. So yeah.
If you're a forklift operator, why are you packing up food? What? I'm very confused.
You got to put hair in it. And that particular picture where I had it on my face, we were just playing around that day.
Because I did see something where somebody was mentioning they work with you.
You have a picture of that, but you don't have a picture of you working at your actual job. And do you also have a picture of you as a football player?
As a forklift driver, and that you said, hey, I don't even have to be here. I have enough money to where I don't need to work, but I'm just doing this to just have something to do.
A lot of people, Teesa got roped in on this story and lie. Unfortunately, this started, I left her. She didn't contact me, and we went through a whole year. I didn't hear nothing from her. Divorce was final, everything. She got what she got out of it, which was I left her with 10 grand, and she can do what she can do with her car. That was it. Clean break. We were done. Wasn't nothing, no fight, no argument, nothing. I told her I couldn't do it no more. Went down, got last month. I told her I'll be back for the rest of my stuff. And it was at her crib, and that was it. I was done. It did not work for me. And instead of trying to make it work, I just said enough is enough. And I left. She agreed. We actually shook hands. She hugged.
You shook hands? I don't believe that.
Me?
You shook hands with the woman that cheated on you? Okay, pussy.
Told me, take care of myself, stay in contact. And I honestly said to her, I'm not going to do that.
I will say, this guy is full of red flags. The fact that she married him is what a fuck up. Like, what a no offense, I like her, but she's a fucking idiot. You fucking idiot for marrying this guy.
I told her to take care of herself, and I told her my best advice for her is, please financially get yourself together. That's the very last conversation we had, to get yourself together financially, because I didn't mind taking care of you, but at some point the deal was you were going to step it up, and you didn't do that. The cheating part, that was too much to deal with. If I would have still been married to her, and I'm still paying bills today, I still would have been working with her to take care of that, if it needed to be, because when you got a wife, that's what you're supposed to do. But the cheating, then you go into the marriage council, you're not admitting anything, you're still trying to place the blame, you keep talking about this, talking about that, you're ignoring the real truth. Did I hide money from her? Yes, I did.
So what was the point of the marriage counseling then, if you knew, hey, I'm done with you?
I was trying to save the marriage, honestly. I was.
I fucked up.
I get, like, honestly, I guess I could say, hey, I wanted to forgive her because I wanted it to work. But after, you don't admit to anything, you're not wrong, you don't believe that you're ever wrong, it's not going to work. And once that happened, I left. That was it. My birthday was coming up. I just left. I took a trip. I came up north, saw some family, came back down, found a job, and was on my way back up. The paperwork was in, and she went and filed on her own and got the divorce, which is fine with me.
So she filed?
Yeah, I filed, but I didn't finish because I was in a car accident.
Okay.
When I was moving back up.
Wait, what? You said that you were divorced by the time you got into the car. Wait, what? Earlier he said you had no knee problem except for after his car accident. And the car accident was after he was divorced and everything, but now you're saying that you didn't finalize the divorce because of you got in the car accident. So that's another story change.
When I was my last trip coming back up here, I was in a car accident. So I was in the hospital.
But you just said you were divorced and it was way after your divorce. No? Am I wrong about that? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
I went to someone's wedding, went to a buddy of mine's wedding. I was in an accident. I was injured pretty badly, and I had to get you had to get 4 surgeries and learn to walk again and do all that.
Okay, so you did hurt your knee. Gotcha.
But you weren't with her at the time. She wouldn't have used that as an example to what you talking about with your knee.
She knew about me being in the hospital. I was in an accident because at the time on my medical paperwork, she was still listed as my wife. So they kept her in the loop until I told the doctor and the social worker that we were no longer married. Then they stopped contacting her.
Family. He talked.
Why wouldn't you just tell her that immediately?
He had his sister Shantae, who lived in Douglasville.
I guess it was a bad accident, guys.
Like I said, she was married with 2 kids. Apparently, she was a nurse. So when I had my miscarriage, that was the sister that he was like, my sister will take you to the hospital. Like, that's what family does. I've been around him when he was on the phone with Shantae. Never heard her part of the conversation. He would be talking to his sister. That's what he said. That's what it sounded like, too. We lived maybe 35, 40 minutes away from Douglasville. So there were plenty of times that he had invited me to go with him to his sister's house. The first time he invited me, I was like, no, I ain't going because, again, COVID. And she's a nurse. Hell no. The second time, he was like, yeah, she invited us, but I don't think we should go because COVID. The third time, I agreed to go. I was like, absolutely, I'll go meet your sister. Like, that'd be great. On our way to her house, to Douglasville, to go see the sister.
They got the phone call. Oh, we can't go over now. Sorry.
Apparently, he got a phone call. The phone was always like on vibrate. He told me that something came up, and so she had to cancel the barbecue to get together, whatever. And so I was just like, oh man, okay, well, hopefully we can go another time.
Shantae, is that a real person?
She kind of like, she's not my sister, but I call her my sister. She's a good friend of mine.
What about the 2 different socials? Did you have a different social that you put on the marriage license versus when you showed it the first time?
They wouldn't give you a marriage license. You put a different social security number on there. They would find out about it, and they would issue a warrant for your arrest the minute you do that. There was never no 2 different social security numbers, same old social security number. Never put 2 on there, none of that.
So the social that was on the marriage license, for example, was probably 1, 2, 3. What was on the background was 4, 5, 6. So when I saw his social on my background, I immediately knew that was a different social than what I saw on the marriage license. And when I compared,
I mean, I just believe her on face value at this point. He is an absolute liar.
because I had found a copy of the marriage license that we turned in because I had filled it out on the computer. So sure enough, the first 3 numbers were different.
She mentioned that you had 2 different licenses, and one license
All right, I'm gonna take a quick piss.
was to a cemetery. The address was to the cemetery.
Nope. Same license. I still got that license now. Same license Douglas. I haven't even changed my license up here. Yeah, I've actually processed doing that now. Still same license. Never had a different license. Only license I had other than that was the California license and that address. That's it.
Was the cemetery story real, that you drove her to the cemetery and explained anything
Never.
about that?
Never showed her where my parents were buried because my parents both were cremated. Ashes are at my brother's house. They don't have a gravestone.
I mean, you could still get buried if you were cremated, but yeah, right. So it's like so many different things that I have to remember. He had changed the dates that they died according to her, so that he could ask for money from her or use money as like a justifier, for presumably fucking prostitutes. So good on you, brother.
Only my grandfather and grandmother did.
So a few weeks later, we go out to eat at this restaurant in Atlanta. As we are leaving, he says to me, did I ever show you where my grandmother's buried? This is the grandmother that passed away from COVID in 2020. And so he was like, let me show you. So he drives us to the cemetery, which is not far from the restaurant. And he was like, you see the headstone? The headstone had like the family name on it. There were no dates on it. So it reminded me of just a headstone where it was probably multiple family members. And so he was like, my grandfather and my grandmother are buried there. I do recall him telling me when the grandmother died in 2020 that she wanted to be buried next to his grandfather. I've also verified that your grandmother actually died in 2008 and not in 2020 from COVID. I have no idea who that man is in my guest bedroom.
So just to go back on that, when you said they're at your brother's house, so the brother that you were talking to, these are just like friends. These are friends that you call brothers, but your actual brother you don't really speak to.
We speak here and there, but not really. When our parents died, we all kind of went our separate ways because my parents really preached for us to be a family. But my parents, when they went their separate ways, my brothers, I guess we fell apart. I guess the best way I can put it to you.
Okay.
Not because any of us did anything to anybody. My brother Chris is a really good dude. He been through a lot. Dude has been to war, so I can imagine what that must be like. Well, I can't imagine what that's been like.
Went to war, guys. Okay, so that's setting us up for how he's not credible because he's fucking crazy, apparently.
For him, and he went through some stuff. He went through a messed up divorce. He's a dedicated father to his daughter, and for a guy who you see your daughter every day and then not being able to see your daughter every day, I don't know. I can't imagine what that would be like for him. And for him, he made moves that he wanted to make, and he's my big brother, and I respect him and love him, so I had to respect him for it. He took his space from me and my brother, and I had to respect it.
He's telling the family that I kicked him out. He's telling the
So why, if you just went your separate ways and they don't hate you, why can't you get them to vouch for you and be like, yeah, she's just crazy and lying? We don't know anything about this story. They're not I'm not in contact with her at all. She's lying on her TikTok.
family that I kicked him out after he walked in on me having an affair, that I stole his money, and I then kicked him out. And the man I was having an affair with, he said, was a law enforcement
I wouldn't doubt that she was draining some of his money. She seems like she has high tastes. I get it.
officer who used his
I get it. I'm married.
duty weapon to threaten him to get out of the house. This is what he told his family. And the cousin was reaching out to me. She found me through a search on Facebook and was reaching out to me because she's like, we know he lies. So I'm just trying to figure out is this true? Because he's up here asking us for money, asking to stay on our couches. Like, what's going on? Then she explained to me, we didn't even know he got married. So this is the first time we're hearing about you. What do you mean you didn't know he got married?
How can you, you walked in, you see her cheating. Like, what could she place the blame on if that was the reason for y'all to be going
Because
about this?
afterwards, like I said that I wanted to work it out because I did. But a lot of men don't tell this story, and that's fine. I don't really want to tell it, but it's just at this point you might as well. A lot of women say, "Oh, men cheat. I've been cheated on by a man," and they demonize us for it. But when a woman cheats, she get a pass. Ex-girlfriend did the same thing, and I left.
What the fuck are you talking about? Women don't get a pass when they cheat. If anything, women get railed harder when they cheat than men because it's more expected from guys. I mean, cheating is bad regardless, but a guy, in my opinion, will cheat because he's like a piece of shit and he's trying to get another notch. But when a woman cheats, I feel like they're closer to, that's like an emotional thing. It's a little bit more like that's more of an indicator of the end of the relationship, So I don't know what you're talking about. That women get off easy when they cheat. They don't. They get off harder. I feel like men get off easier. Nobody really gets off easy when they cheat. They shouldn't. What are you talking about?
And I gave her a chance, and she cheated 3 times, 3 different guys.
What?
So
3 different times. You said, wait, what? What? This is new? What the fuck are you talking about, man? You just said it was like 1 time, and then you guys had basically split up and didn't live together anymore. How is it 3 guys?
What I'm saying is basically, if your reason, you're saying, hey, look, I have the fact that I'm paying for everything. You're not moving up successfully in your career to where you can helping you out, and then I caught you cheating. What could be any reasoning that she has to say, well, I don't want to be with you?
She wanted to work it out. She said, that's what she said. My problem was when the counseling got started, she denied that she did anything wrong. She told the first counselor that second one, she told the pastor same difference. She didn't do anything wrong. So I'm telling them, hey, y'all hid money from her. You know, I'm wrong for this. You know, because I'm trying to make it work. But you sitting over here, you don't want to talk about the cheating with them. You don't want to bring that up. You don't want to talk about that. So you want to basically delete that you cheated and just say we here because he hid money from me. And that was that.
So what do you think the reason for the money, like, why do you think that's such a big deal then? You know, if you were paying for everything and you getting there in these situations, why was the hiding money thing? What was that?
Like, greed on her part is all I can say. I don't know, because at the end of the day, when I stopped paying for stuff, like, because the whole council thing, I stopped paying for stuff. You got to take care of your own bills, take care of my house. That was it. No more, no purses, no shoes, no shopping trips, no going out to dinner, no concerts, none of that.
Legion.
What does that have to do with you lying about your money? I'm so confused.
And Legion would talk about the niece, meaning Chris's daughter, and would send her stuff for her birthday. And he was like, he said, I'm almost positive my brother never sent anything for my daughter's birthday. And I explained to him, I said, isn't your daughter's name Egypt? He said, no. Who the hell is Egypt? And I said, I was told that was your daughter's name. That's the reason why I'm saying the name on here, because obviously we're about to confirm that's not the daughter. So I said, I was told that's your daughter's name. I said, I went with him to Rack Room Shoes and bought shoes for what I was.
Yeah, I remember he was probably buying shoes for some prostitute. He's got like a boogie complex.
Told was your daughter.
Okay, so she had mentioned that you guys have, went to the post office and mailed off some kid shoes to a girl named Egypt.
Friend of mine's daughter. We are close. She's a friend of mine. V is a real good friend of mine. Her daughter is like my daughter. Egypt is a very good kid, and at the time,
he's just conveniently everybody that he knows is just like a family to him. Everybody. He doesn't have regular friends. They're all like family.
Her mom was doing the best she could do, and she wanted to buy Egypt something. And for her birthday, I bought her a pair of Air Max because I just felt like she deserved it. And I was just doing something nice, and they were in St. Louis at the time, so the only way she could get them is if I mailed them to her. So I trusted Teesa. Just, can you mail these off for me? She said, hey, I'll go by the FedEx place for you. Just give me address information. I shot her address information, and she mailed them.
She said that there was no trace that she had, if I'm not mistaken, of Egypt.
The young lady exists just fine. She graduated from high school this year. I'm not going to advertise her mom online or talk about. I mean, she graduated from high school this year from Duluth High School. She good kid. Very smart young lady. And me and her mom are really good friends. We've been friends for a long time.
About 72 hours later, I had another doctor's appointment where the purpose of this appointment was to do an ultrasound to see if everything had passed. Everything did not pass. So because of that, my doctor was like, we're going to have to do a DNC. My DNC was scheduled for the first week of July. 2 days before my procedure, he comes home and tells me that he is up for promotion, to be promoted to VP. So he did not take me to the hospital for my DNC. My friend did. She could not stay because of COVID protocol. So when they wheeled me into pre-op, after I got checked in, I texted him and was just letting him know, hey, here's the update. I'm about to, I'm in pre-op. And the response I got was from his new executive assistant named David.
Ah, yes, David. Our buddy David. He wasn't able to do anything. The guy showed up like an hour or two late or some bullshit.
Tell me, I'm going to make sure that I inform David. If you get a text from this number, meaning from me, pull me out of the meeting because my fiance's having a procedure done and I'm picking her up. So it's important that you come get me if it's something serious.
Reminded me of a time where she said while she was getting her surgery, you were getting promoted from your original job. Was that correct?
I was leaving that job.
So you weren't getting promoted, and David, the executive assistant, texted her?
No, I was leaving that job. They knew I was leaving.
Okay.
Who's David? To explain to us, like what was the job? Hasn't told us what job he supposedly had.
Because she was like, yeah, that was the day you said you were getting promoted. David had texted her, hey, hope everything went good. So there's no David.
No, I was leaving that job. I put in my notice. I was gone. I was leaving that company for another company. I was already leaving. They offered me more money to stay. I said no. I was done with Reesa. I was done with the job. I was done with Atlanta.
He did good. He did good.
Okay.
Valentine. He went all out for Valentine's Day. He went all out for my birthday. The weekend after my birthday. And what I mean by that is, if my birthday was on a Tuesday, we're talking about Saturday. The weekend after my birthday, he gave me money to go to the nail salon, go get a manicure and pedicure. So I leave the house. I take his car. His car was in the driveway. We had a key to each other's car because, again, we're married at this point. I'm in the chair getting a pedicure, and I get a text message from my husband saying, someone was just at the house looking for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, who was looking for me? Who was it?
She did admit to me that when she was pregnant, that was the other gentleman's kid, not mine. Because we had not, while the pandemic was going on, then he was the guy coming over. He was the guy showing up. Because the pandemic, for 5.5, almost 6 months, I didn't physically.
I love how it went from she cheated on me with this guy, with a coworker of hers, to she cheated on me with 3 people actually, to now she's actually had the baby of the person she cheated on me with. Okay. That's fucking incredible, man.
See her. So when the doctor said, hey, you 5.5 weeks pregnant, I didn't say it in the doctor's office, but I gripped her hand because, again, we had not been together, had not physically spent any time together. And we talked about it in the car. And she tried to to throw it in my face that that's not what happened. You don't remember all this other stuff. And at that point, I got suspicious, and then it led up to where we are.
What?
So, but okay, so when you were suspicious, that didn't lead you to try to leave. You just stayed with her just because.
Well, like I said, she tells the story that I lived there. No, I had my own place. I would go there on the weekends, so she come up to mine on the weekend. So it wasn't.
Yeah, your own place, not weekend jail.
That it's just that. Other than what the doctor said, I wanted to find out more, because you getting divorced with somebody. What's the grounds? You can have irreconcilable differences, if I'm not mistaken. But at the time, the best way I put it, I was still, I guess, a fool because I still wanted it to work.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, with the car backing in the driveway and you stepping out on the porch and stuff like that. Do you remember her?
That was him. That was him. Yeah.
So that was him. He backed into the driveway.
He didn't think I was there. He didn't think I was there. He backed into the driveway. She was upstairs. I went downstairs. I opened the door, and he quickly got back in the car, and he sat there for a minute. I thought about going to tap on the window, then I didn't. Then I decided to go and tap on the window, and he just drove off.
That was the same, because she said that was her.
Wait, what? You tapped on the window? Wait, what?
So that was him. He backed into the driveway.
He didn't think I was there. He didn't think I was there.
He didn't think okay, he backed into the driveway. He didn't think I was there.
He backed into the driveway. She was upstairs. I went downstairs. I opened the door.
Wait, what? She was upstairs? What? Wait, this doesn't make any sense. Thank you so much for the small gut, Brady Fox.
Into the driveway.
He didn't think I was there.
The ex backs into the driveway, according to him. This guy didn't think that he was there.
He didn't think I was there. He backed into the driveway. She was upstairs. I went downstairs.
But she was upstairs and he was downstairs. So why wouldn't he think that you were home? I don't understand. There would be two cars in the driveway. And why wouldn't he think that he was... What? And if she was cheating, wouldn't they do a better job at hiding that? What are you talking about, bro?
Upstairs, I opened the door, and he quickly got back in the car, and he sat there for a minute. I thought about going to tap on the window, then I didn't. Then I decided to go and tap on the window, and he just drove off.
None of this makes sense. So he got up and then he saw you open the door to the house. So he sat there instead of leaving, and then you went and tapped on the window and then he left. This doesn't make any fucking sense. What? If he was actually cheating, he would have drove off immediately. This doesn't make any sense, dude. Holy fuck. Oh my God.
That was the same, because she said that was her, she had mentioned she had an ex-boyfriend. That wasn't the ex-boyfriend. You saying that was a lady's husband.
Yeah, that was him. That wasn't the ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend reached out to me like while we were together, because I guess he was living, or he would come there. He was living in Milwaukee, and he came one day. She was at work. I happened to be at the house, and he was like, "Look, I'm here." And I let him in, and we had a conversation like two gentlemen. And he was like, "Man, I'm here because she told me she had my Xbox and some stuff from me." And I was like, "Bro, I don't know." And me and him went upstairs.
Wow, you have a lot of nice interactions with the people that are supposedly fucking your wife, man. Okay.
We looked around, all through the house, and I called her, and she jokingly said, "Tell that MF I sold that SHIT. I took it to the pawn shop. F him." And he was upset, and he was wanting to call the cops and do all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, that's between you and her. I talked to her about it when she got home. She laughed. She thought it was a joke. She laughed about it. She said they broke up. I don't know. She said he cheated on her. He say he just walked out of a relationship because he got tired of her. At the end of the day, because she was secretary for law enforcement, I just took it upon myself. I called him up because we exchanged numbers, and I replaced the Xbox.
I decided to look up.
You decided to replace the Xbox. Dude, this guy, if his story is true, he's a huge fucking cuck. Holy shit.
His mother's obituary. Look up the mother's obituary. And
does he think that makes him look like a nice guy? The Xbox thing? This whole thing is so confusing. And why talk about the ex if the ex wasn't one she cheated on? This doesn't make any sense. Like, why are there so many? Why? This is like a big sign of a liar, is when they give you so much information. Because he's giving so much information out. Like, it's unnecessary. Why are you giving so much information? And it's so verifiably false by his own logic. This doesn't make any sense.
Down at the bottom where it talks about, she's preceded in death by, and it lists all the people, the family members that died before. It lists Legion, the brother in Philly, and his wife and daughter, her granddaughter. It lists Legion and his wife, I think it was like Latoya, with Legion and the same woman's name that was in the obituary. In that divorce record, it looks like he's the one that filed for divorce. This would have been around 2016. This was after the mother's death.
Yeah, generous rich king.
Both had a temporary protection order against each other. He had one against her. She had one against him.
Another thing I had seen was Tashawn. I think he had came out and said, same thing happened to his family. You told him you were a big time producer and you played in the NFL for all this time. Promised them the same type of stuff.
Nope. Dated his mom for a couple of years. Honestly, and I'm not trying to badmouth her, but the truth is the truth. She was on drugs. He was on drugs. I think he might still be. He has another brother that
very convenient.
I still stay in contact with. I stopped dealing with her because my mom couldn't stand her. Stopped talking to her because my mom couldn't stand her. My dad didn't like her. My brothers did not like her. Sister didn't like her. Nobody liked her. Her people don't like her. Her dad's alcoholic. One time, I think it was an incident. Matter of fact, he said something out of the way to her, had her crying at my house, and I put him out. Asked him to leave. Actually drove him to the bus station, put him on the bus back to where he was going. Toya has a drug issue. Simply, I think if I'm not mistaken, her story simply goes, her mother and her didn't have a great relationship. Her dad moved on. She had kids, one after another, after another, after another. When I met her, we talked. She seemed cool. When I found out about the drug problem, we were done. Her son, I met him. I actually went on vacation with her before we went up to where her family's from in Rhode Island. I drove up. I had a good time because her uncle, good dude. Her aunt, really good lady. Her sister, really, really good people. Her brother.
I just can't think of what the fucking is, bro. Come on.
And them, real cool, really nice people. Latoya, she's got a drug problem. It's simple as that. When I found out about the drug problem, like I said, we were dating, we're talking. Tayshawn, he got a drug problem. His dad, a good dude, and she should have left him with his dad. She didn't. He got in a lot of trouble. Moved in with her, and they started having problems. He was going to school down south. He started acting up. You know, there's one time he got accused of raping a girl. I had to get involved, help prove that he didn't do that, and then he started messing with another girl, and he just had problems. And my suggestion that he go back and live with his dad. His dad had a plan for him, and his dad,
I'm missing him.
Really good dude. And his dad had him on the right path, but he knew he didn't want to follow that fast, so he came move with his mom, and he can cut up and do whatever he's doing now. I think now I haven't seen him since I stopped talking to her, and then I know somebody said that he out there homeless now. So I see she making videos now talking about, again, I simply stopped talking to her because my mom couldn't stand her. My brothers, the two that I told you about, they couldn't stand her, and she had a drug problem. I got another friend of mine.
So like people that aren't actually your family, but okay.
Who brought that to the light, and he came to me, and Shantae's another person brought it to me, and she got a drug problem. It's bad, and she's been in rehab a couple times. She got bipolar 2. This stuff she didn't tell me when I found out. I did try to help her. It didn't work, and I just simply, once again, I just left. Breakups for me, if it's not,
oh my god, this is so stupid.
Working, I tell you I'm done. I don't do no arguing, and I just leave.
So, but do y'all leave on bad terms, or how do you leave? Because why are these people coming and saying all these things that are so negative?
Toya hadn't said nothing to me since we left. Since I left her, she ain't said nothing to me. Ain't heard nothing from her. I heard she got married to some other dude. She used to talk to me all the time. After we had a mutual, we broke up. She married some other dude. She called me, talking about Tayshawn. Her daughter that went to California, I'm the one that sent her. I'm the one that sent her. When I was leaving, not dealing with her no more, her daughter expressed to me that she used to live with the aunt at one point. Me and the aunt we're good friends, and I reached out to her, Carla, and said,
what about the whole argument that he was born in like California or something and then moved to Georgia, but then it turned out he never moved? So he makes such weird. This guy's weird, man. I don't know. Yeah, he's a very gentle giant. I don't believe anything he's saying.
Hey, you think you can take in Joselle? She said, yeah. They came. They was on vacation, and they rented a car and drove down, picked her up, and that was that. And I left her, and we were done. She came one time when I was up. I came back up north to visit. She came up, visited, trying to rekindle something. I traveled to Rhode Island to see her when she was living there. She was in and out of rehab, and there was just nothing. Again, I can't fix it. You're using drugs, you're doing all this. If it's all the same to you, I'm gonna go my way, you're gonna go your way. It's not gonna work. And that was it. I didn't hear anything else from her. Every once in a while, she reached out to me because one of her sons I still talk to all the time. I make sure he good.
Why?
Because I met his father, and he a good dude. God rest his soul. So he called me, let me know how he doing. I check on him. He check on me.
Such a nice guy, guys. He's such a good person. This guy's such a nice guy. How could she cheat on him like this? My God.
That's it. I ain't heard nothing from Toya until she got on the video.
Part 28 is the phone call that I had with the ex-wife. I am the wife of Legion. Silence. And she said to me, and I quote, "If you were calling me, then I know it's bad." And I said, "I understand that you and my husband talk and communicate." And she immediately said, "What?"
Oh my God, they're the same person. Have we seen them in the same room?
No, we don't. She said, "One thing you need to know about Legion." She said, "Whatever he tells you, it is a lie." And before we got off the phone, I said to her, "If everything is a lie, I said, I have one question for you." And she said, "Sure." I said, "How is your daughter?" I said, "How is your daughter?" She said, "What did he say about my daughter?" I wasn't going to tell that woman that he said her daughter passed away.
What about the $2,000 you asked to take out for the stepdaughter? She said that she had talked to the mom supposedly for like a funeral cost.
Never happened. Lies.
Okay. You think that was just a part of the story, or like why would somebody lie about that?
You gotta ask.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Again, why do people lie? I have no idea. Like I said, I don't know where that came from.
I feel like you might be. I feel like if anybody knows why people lie, you probably would know. You're probably an expert on why people lie.
Went left. I don't know.
So later on, Legion calls me. He calls me because he wants some money. He just needs a little bit of money to hold him over till payday. Again, I was recording all my calls at the time. He was still standing by the lies he told me. So finally, I just asked him, and this is where let me just say it. I asked him, "Why the hell did you even marry me? Like, why? Why did you even marry me? Because you easily could have just stayed
Yo, how do I look though?
dating or been the boyfriend or just moved on with your life. Like, you didn't have to marry me. You didn't have to pull me in."
You think Reesa Teesa would marry me? You think she likes white guys? I gotta flare him up, bro. My wife's in the chat. I love you, baby. I'm sorry.
Into a marriage and make me think that this is what you wanted.
Baby, would you have a threesome with Reesa Teesa? Or would you just kiss her and let me watch her? What's up? Because apparently she's into cucking, by the way. Her ex-husband apparently would just watch her have sex with other men. wait for them to come, and then flip over the couch and clean it or something.
This is what he said to me on that phone call. He said, I had to marry you. And I was like, no, you didn't. He said, yes, I did. He said, I knew
Stop. Don't say that.
full well from day one that there was no way you were going to stay my girlfriend for longer than a year. He said, I knew it. He said, I knew in order to keep you, I was going to have to marry you. Y'all, my jaw hit the ground.
I think money came into play. I don't think it's her issue. I think it's for 3 years. The first year I didn't hear that from her. For the next 2, it was reaching out to me on fake Facebook pages, on fake Instagram pages, WhatsApp.
Stop. I fucking hate that. Fucking my wife is so annoying. In the chat, she said, yes, please message her, 2 exclamation points, because she knows that that's a bluff caller. And she knows I'll get upset if I'm trying to get her to be fucking angry. And then she says yes. And then it fucking makes me upset. Because she calls my bluff, dude. I feel like the 2 of you guys could make a good OnlyFans page, though. That'd be kind of hot. I'm just saying, dude. You got to capitalize on it.
Or whatever way she could contact me she would tell people she's looking for me to see if I'm okay. But then she contacted me and it's, I want us to fix things. I want to get back together. I want to start over. And I was just like, no.
I was like, no, you've cheated on me with 18,000 men. And you ruined this man's Xbox. You destroyed this man's Xbox. Jeez.
I don't want to fix that. And at that point, the last conversation we had was about a month before Valentine's Day. She called me up. She made a fake Facebook page, called me up. And she reached out to me and we talked for about 20 minutes. And she says to me, I want to work stuff out. I really want to fix stuff. And I want to pay you the money back that you spent. And I want to show you, I can be a better person. She said,
sorry, I got to stop burping in the video. So I got to mute it again. Sorry.
She had not been with nobody.
My bad, guys.
We parted ways. She said that she just wanted to fix stuff. Mm-hmm. And I calmly had a conversation. I said, I'm with
somebody else now.
Somebody else? First,
the wife of the guy that you cheated on me with.
I'm in love.
I'm in love, yeah. Well, what's her name? Is she with you now?
In the situation I'm in now.
Oh, damn. Is he married to another girl right now? Damn. She's going to be calling Reesa Teesa soon. Jesus.
I'm in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fight with my girlfriend. I don't argue. Getting out of the hospital, learning to walk again. She has been instrumental.
After the knee injury that doesn't exist, of course.
Like helping me with everything. Learning to walk again is hell.
Yeah.
To learn to walk again. When we talk about somebody who understood this situation that I was in, knew about Teesa because I told her everything. Told her about the ex before that. Told her everything. Accepted me. Helped me get everything together. And we've been great.
I mean, it seems like you tell from what Reesa says, and she's more credible than you. You just tell everybody that they cheated on you, and then they're mean to you.
She understood the limitations of walking again. Because walking again, like I can walk just fine now, but at the time we first started, I would take breaks, sit down, get up, take breaks. Again. Taking steroids to help build muscle. Now to get back on the diet again to lose weight because taking a steroid, obviously you're hungry, you're gonna eat more. Changing health plan again, and she's been instrumental in all of that. Mm-hmm. She knows the Teesa story. We talked about it because I don't get in a relationship and tell somebody, not tell them something. I told her everything, and she made a choice to accept that and say, "Hey, I'm gonna put these dukes up and fight with you." She watched these videos right along with me.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna put her on camera, but she's sitting right here now. We dealt with all this together as a team.
My God.
Knowing that I got an ex-woman attacking me, another one attacking me, and another one just talking trash, and we only went on 3 dates, and they making videos, they making money off.
Interesting. All your exes seem to not like you. I wonder if there's a pattern.
My name again. She could have said, "I'm done." She didn't do that.
Well, God bless her, but she's a fucking idiot. And frankly, Teesa is also kind of stupid because it sounds like there were tremendous red flags and everybody just ignores them. So you guys are all kind of dumb. Just being honest.
Did y'all talk about this prior to the videos or?
Yeah, we talked about this before Teesa ever did anything. I told her the truth. Everything. We talked about the money. We talked about Teesa, we talked about Toya, we talked about all this. I told her everything, as I always do. Anybody I'm dealing with, did I miss anything when I was telling? So she was prepared for all this. She knew about Teesa.
This is really interesting. Hold on a second.
Knew about why I left her, all that. It was like what, our first or second conversation we ever had with each other. Well, yeah, so I remember I was like I told you, I said, I don't want you to get slapped in the face and like we talked about it, and he was like, that's the past and that's it. Matter of fact, you looked me up. She literally ran a background check on me because her sister, ties with the FBI. She ran a background check to make sure I was legit before I could go out with her. So and then she came back, okay, you good. And that was that. And we've been good. The attack, like one thing I'll say my girlfriend had to deal with is like somebody, maybe somebody at the job.
Actually interesting.
Or something like that.
Because this happened. Hold on.
But they know me, so it's not the same. And some people at the job don't. But you would think with all this going on, all this negative stuff where I live, I'll be getting a bunch of handshakes saying, "Hey man, keep your head up. There's some BS." My niece's school, hey, there's some BS. Daughter's school, there's some BS. It's all. Everybody said the same thing. Everybody know me. Oh, it's some BS. I got a bunch of encouragement calls, and everybody who called me, like I got some people from high school that believe the bull crap, and that's fine. But I had more people who went to college and high school, or people who know me now, personal friends, family members call me, hey, I know this BS, keep your head up. I even got the weird calls. There's some women hit me up talking about, hey, we can be together, you can pay my bills, take care of me.
you got some bitches out of this. Ooh, what a sly dog.
And my girlfriend think that's funny because I told her that was crazy. Like I had a girl, like we were sitting here and the girl got on the phone and was like, you know, you can take care of me, I'll be your side chick. And I'm like, really? And it ain't funny because it's sad that motivates people, but I don't know. All I can say about this whole situation, I had to go through all these bad women to get to this good one.
Did you guys doing that?
She mentioned that she asked you, just kind of like, it was like y'all were having closure, I believe. And she asked, why did you lie? And you said, you know, I had to lie because I knew we wouldn't make it.
Never asked me that, and I never told her that. The last conversation we had with each other, actually, no, that's not the last conversation. The last conversation I had with her was last year when she asked me she wanted to start over, and I told her no.
What's really fucking crazy, though, and I literally just found this, I think this is happening right now, is that his twin brother actually came forward and actually issued a statement. Like, this is happening. Jesus fucking Christ. Give me like a second. This is insane. I want to pull it up for you because he made an official statement about this guy. And he's actually saying, from what I'm reading on the side, he's actually saying that, like, he's innocent and that Reesa's basically lying about everything. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, this is what I found. Guys, look at this. This is proof that this guy's telling the truth. Oh my God, breaking news. Legion wasn't lying the whole time, dude. He was telling the truth. Him and his twin brother are innocent. They're both innocent. Oh my God. What a reputable source. Jesus Christ. This is incredible stuff. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. His twin brother came forward. Breaking news. He's innocent, guys. Both of them are innocent. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. I can't believe it. This is incredible stuff. This is terrible.
The conversation she talked about, the closure conversation, yeah, we met for coffee Starbucks. And we talked, and she asked me, could I ever forgive her for the cheating?
Okay.
I told her maybe I could have, but you drug it out so long with all the counselors that at that point I stopped loving you. So at that point, I'm not going to work it out. Once I stopped loving her, that's when it was time for me. That's when I decided to leave. All the opportunities before that for us to work it out with the cheating and stuff like that, that was her opportunity. I felt like she missed the opportunity. My heart wasn't in it anymore, and I was done.
The house fell through in October 2020. And what I told him was, I said, I don't want to look at another house. I don't want to talk about cars. I want to get through the holiday.
Right, and the reason is because it kept, by what she says, which is she's significantly more credible, is that they've been looking for houses for a while, and he kept putting down like promises or saying that he was putting down offers, and he never was, and so she just kind of gave up, and he would be like, "Oh, let's go look for this," blah blah blah, You thought I was serious, right? That was funny. I got you guys on that one. And so she was just getting burnt out on it.
Because it was going to be a holiday season where I could not celebrate my family because of COVID. So I said, I just want to get through the holidays. I want to get through the end of the year. And we'll revisit stuff in January. I was very calm when I said it. No argument, nothing like that. And he said he understood. A lot of what fueled me staying in this situation really was the fact that, number one, I didn't want to be alone. Number two, I didn't want to look stupid by having the relationship end so quickly.
Yeah, I get that.
Everyone would be like, we told you something.
But you probably should have,
What's up?
Banged
and number
there.
three, I was ready to get married. And that, ready to get married fueled a lot of stuff.
She had this question as well. Did she feel like it was ever love? And she said no. So do you feel like it was ever love? Did you ever love her during that time?
Absolutely. Through the whole thing until the day I found out she was cheating.
You said that you left. So basically you sleeping in the car and everything after you moved out, that was not a real thing?
No, I went back to my house. My weekend house. The big house, I like to call it.
I went done to go home.
Okay, so the behavioral, I think you said you went to a behavioral correction hospital or something like that. That wasn't true.
Lies.
Okay.
Everything's
the only thing I did
lying.
at a behavioral hospital, I knew a guy that went there, and I helped him get a job. He got out. He knew a friend of mine.
It's convenient that this random thing. Yeah, I had a friend who went there. Yeah, no, I didn't go to weekend jail. I had a friend who went there, and he used my license or something. You know how that works out. Yeah, I had a friend who went to a behavioral thing. Yeah, I had a friend who got cheated on. Or he's like, a friend that did everything.
Omar, he asked me for a job.
I had this friend, like a brother to me, went tried to fuck a 13-year-old. Right, but actually, it was a cupcake.
Job. I got him a job. And matter of fact, no, I did. I picked him up from there. He got out of like a mental facility or whatever. I dropped him off at his mom's house a week later.
I'm listening to you while working. When you said the twin stuff, I had to run to the phone only to see your prank. F you. Hello, well, that was a good one. Yeah, it was funny, right? I pulled that one off.
He asked me, could I have a line on the job? I did. I said, you got to go and show up every day. I gave him a ride to work for a week. And his mom bought him a car, and he's been working ever since.
So did you ever send a screenshot to Scott the realtor with $68 million in the account?
No. If I had $68 million in my account, I would just go buy the house. I wouldn't need a realtor. My realtor that I've dealt with for years is Tori Lampkin. Scott, I never met. The people that she kept introducing me to were people who, when she called them and asked them about a house, we go look at the house, and it's always a different realtor. None of those were friends of mine. The only realtor I've dealt with from 97 on is Tori Lampkin. That's it. Okay. Never met Teresa.
You said you never met Teresa?
Tori has never met Teresa. Not one day.
As far as the condiment company for 6 years.
Lies. I got offered a different job. I'm doing the same thing, different company. And I was leaving. And the only reason they didn't promote me, honestly, simply because the fact is they liked me in that position doing that particular job, and I wanted to move up.
Oh my God, how relatable! This guy must be telling the truth.
I was older, so I wanted to step up. So at the end of the day, when I got the new job offer, it was back north anyway. It was what I wanted to be doing, and it was the money that I wanted to be making. And things weren't working with her. I was already on my way out the door with her, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna take it. Start over, fresh start, and then be closer.
Okay, so what is he doing now? And what does the girlfriend believe he's doing now? Because there's no fucking way.
Family, and try to rebuild some of the relationships that maybe over the years I had talked to people, cousins, stuff like that.
So my mom lived in Arkansas, and when she came to visit in April, we were already married. This is her first time physically meeting Legion. My mom will tell you she had no idea anything was amiss, but there was something that nagged her a little bit. She didn't know what it was, and my mom is the type where
it was probably a woman.
That's what she is. So for her, it was like, I don't know what it is. He seems like a nice guy. He seems to love my daughter.
Right. This is when he had cheated on her, according to her. More credible, of course. And they were kind of like pretending to still, like, she was like angry. He was acting like a nice guy, but she was angry, but she was holding it in because she didn't want to like blow it up at this point, you know, because it just happened.
Because again, there was no arguing in the house. The house was peaceful while she was here, even though behind the scenes we had just came off of the whole sexting incident with other women.
Explain the relationship you had with her dad. I don't think she ever discussed anything about her dad.
She and her mother told me a story that he didn't want anything to do with her, and he told her mom.
Oh yeah, did you talk to him?
Wasn't his baby or whatnot. I met him because he.
Okay. Why? Why would you ever meet him? What would make you ever meet this man? What?
He called the house one day. She was at work. I was working on this day, and he just kind of randomly got her phone number of this brand new house that you guys were in. He just randomly got the number. He was just kind of like fucking perusing the yellow pages. He's like, "Oh, look at this! This is my fucking daughter. Oh, I haven't talked to her in a while." Got into a conversation, and for some reason, something what he said to me about her, about wanting a relationship with her, resonated with me. When I spoke to her about it, she was like, you know, he ain't this, he ain't that. Her mom said, had a conversation with her mom. Her mom said the same thing. A couple weeks went by, and he called back, and we exchanged numbers, and we started talking. And he really was trying to find a way to be part of her life. And
wow, even if this was true, the fact that you would even believe him lends you negative credibility. So you're telling me that this father that was apparently a deadbeat was trying to get back into her life, and you're like, wow, I guess she is the problem. You're right. And let me just ask you a question. Why do you think a child wouldn't want their parent in their life? Oh, because they probably weren't there through the time that mattered. Oh, yeah, you know, she's like 40 years old. I want to be in her life now after all the actual difficult part of it is over. 95% of the work is done. 99.9% of the work is really done. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This doesn't even make sense. Like, he's either dumb or dishonest. I'm pretty sure this just exists. He's just saying this just exists to try to ruin her credibility and make it seem like she's an unreasonable person, and so is her mother. You know, he's just trying to break down the credibility of like everybody. What he's saying makes absolutely no fucking sense.
I would bring it up. She get testy.
And why would you even be with this guy without her? That's like a violation of trust. You're trying to make it seem like you're such a good guy. Why would you do that? This was before she cheated, right? So why would you meet up? That's a violation of your partner's boundaries and their trust. That's weird.
And I'll leave it alone and maybe try to bring it up again. Through all that, me and him developed a relationship.
Why?
Because he was a dad trying to be there for his daughter. Even though she's grown, he was trying to, you know, he told me.
What? What? He was a dad trying to be there for his daughter. What the fuck are you talking about?
A lot of stuff that her mom said about him was a lie.
Why? Because he supposedly said so? Dude, this guy's insane. There's no way. This is such a fucking lie.
I wanted to be part of her life, but you know, she wasn't having it. So
okay,
he would call me every once in a while.
And you would respect her wish.
How my daughter doing? And I say, you know, she's doing good. You know, we're fine. You know, give him an update. You know, hey, we just did this. We went on vacation. We did this and the third. She happy, and he would just, you know, keep her happy. And that was
what the fuck. This guy's a weirdo.
It. Only time, honestly, what I would say when she was unhappy when her mom came around. They got some kind of weird relationship. I still don't quite understand it. Her mom would come around, those two would butt heads, or her mom called on the phone. As far as me and Reesa was concerned,
women always butt heads. Who cares? Like mothers and daughters always butt heads. None of this matters. None of this means anything to anybody. This is stupid.
Before all this happened, I thought we were good all the time. Her mom came stay like a week, and she did nothing in a week. Stay in the room all day. I'm not trying to badmouth her mom or anything like that. It's just that she didn't do anything that week.
Well, you are.
But stay in the house and do nothing.
Okay.
All week, she watched TV all week long, basically.
Legion never loved me. He never loved me. He doesn't love himself, so I know he didn't love me. Number two, he didn't even like me. He watched me get excited about things that he knew I was not going to get.
How was the ring?
And that, I don't know if that's necessarily true. To me, and that might be true. To me, it was more that he just like was caught up in this lie where he had all this money and he didn't. So he's like, oh, I want to try to like make it seem like I can take her to Paris, but then like, oh, we forgot to get the passports, or oh, like we couldn't actually buy that house we wanted, or oh, we couldn't actually do this thing. But I mean, like, I'm being very generous, by the way, very charitable, because actually hearing him talk, he seems like actually like a real piece of dog shit. But yeah,
presented when you gave her the ring.
I came home and just gave it to her. It wasn't no flowers, cards, candy thing. Like we already talked about getting married, like it was more like a business deal, which it wasn't. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that's kind of we just talked about it and decided we want to do it. And I got a ring, came home, like, here you go.
Was that an Amazon ring?
No. She actually, when we went our separate ways, she gave that back to me. My advice to anybody who watched the 53.
I wouldn't believe that based on your story. Telling me that she religiously cheated on you, wanted to stay with you, and then but just like, yeah, here you go. Here's a ring back. I don't know what that just is. I don't think that she would do that based on the character you're trying to portray her as.
356, whatever part series it is. My advice to any of the women out there, honestly, I'm not that kind of guy that she said I was, but I'm going to say this to any woman and men. I don't want to get preachy or nothing, but in the Bible, it tells you about unequally yoked. Anything to any man or any woman, please don't date somebody that financially not on the same level with you.
Sorry, what were you going to quote in the Bible that you realized didn't exist and you decided to move on? Like, what was that? What did you just do? What were you doing? What the fuck is wrong with you?
If they not and you want to date them, understand that they not, and if you want to help them, but don't just do nothing and you date them and, oh, she broke, I got money, and that's it. No,
he's such a nice guy.
You care about somebody. You build them up, you put bricks and you build together like old.
The Jolly Black Giant, guys.
Folks say you build together and you build with them and you teach them. I did try to do that, but you try to do that. But if it's somebody and you out here, you doing your thing, you making money, you ain't living check to check, and the girl you date is check to check, and you try to help, and they don't take the lessons of, hey, this is how you can increase your financial part, because money is a part of any relationship. I don't care what nobody says.
You a fucking red pill? Here's how you can increase your financial portfolio. Invest in crypto.
I know somebody, they married, they living in the projects, and they happy. They got 3 kids, welfare, but you can't tell them nothing. They happy. They got 1 car, 1 person ride the bus, 1 person take the car to work. They got less than $2,000 in savings, but they happy. And ain't nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong.
Is that a brother of yours as well? Brother and sister? You seem to be family with everybody that you know.
That. The point is, my message to any man, if you're dealing with a woman, because they're going to tell you, hey, can you pay my bills to take it? If you start doing that, don't make that a lifetime thing. That's my mistake, because I did that and what ended up happening.
I mean, when you get married to somebody, it kind of becomes a lifetime thing. And listen, I've been in a situation where like I was the financial the breadwinner. I'd work a full-time job, and then sometimes like I would also work like odd jobs and a part-time job. And like, yeah, I got taken advantage of by her. I didn't act appropriately in that relationship either. We were both mutually pieces of shit. Sure, general advice, because I have like an issue of getting into relationships with people and then wanting to do well. And like when they have a stressor in their life, being like, oh, I could take it away. Like maybe you don't have to work anymore, and I'll support you for a little while, and you can just finish school, and then they take advantage of it, and then I build resentment because like I'm fucking paying everything. Like why wouldn't I don't know? Like I kind of get it. I'm like enabling them for their bad behavior. I'm enabling it. So, but this doesn't apply to you, dude. You're just an asshole. I don't know how much I believe. You know what I mean? My relationship with my wife now, because she maintains her job. Because she doesn't want to like be in that role of like that resentment role, which is like, God bless her. That's why
Father truck driver before that was police officer. He took care of everything in the house. We never had to worry about it. Now we didn't have a whole bunch of money growing up.
I heard that he wasn't a police officer,
but everybody in my household, when you graduate from high school, you got a car.
He was like a correctional officer. What?
You was when you graduated and you put the cap and gown on, you was pulling up to your graduation. My first car was a Cadillac, a Fleetwood Cadillac. Like my father was right on his car to touch the class, and he didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we was good. I didn't grow up with a single parent. I grew up with both my parents. My mom worked hard. She was a nurse, and she gave that up and became a teacher. My father was a cop, and he became a truck driver.
And I'm pretty sure these are lies too.
No,
based on what Reesa said, which was the only credible source here.
A whole lot of money, because back then they didn't believe in those professions to pay black people a lot of money. So my dad decided to drive truck because he wanted to make more money, and he took care of us, and we was good. I mean, my dad used to let us get out of school or not go to school until late that day, so we could be the first person to step into high school with the new J's. Like, what? No, we didn't have a lot of money, but my dad knew when the new joints come out, he come in the room. J's come out on Tuesday. Y'all want them? And me and my brother would not. We go to school late and go get them new J's and then go to school.
You felt like you just was doing what you was supposed to do and what you was taught as a kid.
I was doing what my father taught me.
Chris wanted me to also let you all know that their parents, though they are passed away, the parents did everything they could to get Legion psychiatric help. At one point, they were taking him to different therapists and psychologists.
Oh shit! They got this in the video. Let's hear what we got here. What's his response?
Diagnosed as a kid with both bipolar and schizophrenia. I did not know this.
There's just no way this is a lie, because this is so easy that she would get toppled for this instantaneously. If this is a lie, it's the easiest lie to verify in the entire fucking world, and that's all he would have to do is be like, "No, she's lying," and here's my brother Schminglebang to tell you it's a lie, and we're done. There's nothing else there.
Chris informed me today, Monday, February 26th, during that phone call, that their father came out of retirement to help pay for the medications. And as Legion got older, he refused to take them.
Never happened. My parents, my dad was from Roanoke, Virginia. My mom was born in Norristown, PA. Big family on her side.
Okay.
My dad was raised by his grandma.
Somebody laughing in the background?
But my mom, big family. And they're tight-knit. And my grandma, she kept everybody together. You know, you come over there, my grandma come over there and beat you if you act up. You don't need your parents. She show up. Nana show up and mess you up. You don't have to worry about your parents. And they all got along. But as we got older, my mom and dad decided they wanted to make a move, and they moved to Georgia. And for us, the sons, we were not happy about it. I don't think me or my brothers were happy about going to Georgia. My older brother embraced it though. You know, he I think he can function anywhere. He type person can live anywhere. But me and my brother Mike, we wasn't fans of it. And my brother did a lot to help us. You know, kind of like naturate to the whole living in Georgia thing. I can be honest and say I probably never liked it. Too funny. But you know, my parents were there. None of my brothers, none of us had no mental issues. My mom, that's not true. My parents were a team. They were old school with it.
This should be very easy to prove wrong. This really should be extraordinarily easy for you to prove wrong then. Like, why doesn't he just do that? You all have to do is get your brother on the line. Oh, we don't talk. That doesn't matter. Like, just because they don't talk, generally speaking, doesn't mean that they wouldn't come forward and vouch for him on this, like, wild, insane lie, according to him. He's so full of shit. Anybody
who know when your mom say something, you know, you don't got to say go ask your dad, because he was already on the same page with her. They got along very well.
Jack Esposito super chatted $4.99. $4.99 from Jack Esposito. Hey, oh, Papa, this is my 6th time catching a stream.
Okay.
I'm still sick with COVID.
Damn, that sucks, brother. I'm sorry, man. Well, I hope you're feeling better at least. It might take a little while, but, you know, you should be able to get through it. Do your thing.
We didn't have a whole lot, but we had enough. And my dad was active in all our lives. My mom was too. My mom did a lot of volunteer work. And we grew up really good. My grandma was in the house with us. My great-grandma, actually. So we had great family figures, I want to say. And then I found out as I got older, the reason my parents moved from up north is because the fact is some of my family members had a lot of infighting. My great-grandma passed away on my mom's side, and everybody stopped getting along. And my mom just didn't want to have any parts of it. And she felt like starting over down south was a good idea. And it was, honestly. We got a better education. We moved to an area where wasn't any crime, really. A tighter community. And honestly, all of us got a better education down there. My older brother joined the Air Force. Me and my brother went off to school. High school I went to, everybody went to high school. Like, they just had that, I don't know, that Southern hospitality thing where you just felt like you lived there forever. Like,
right, that's why you're family with every single person you know. Now, this story makes so much sense, guys.
I got nothing bad to say about anybody I went to high school with. Anybody went to middle school, elementary, but they were just all good people. Like, we just had fun. And
cool.
Like I said, my parents, there was nobody in our house that had a mental issue, nothing like that. My older brother, nobody. He went on to the Air Force. He came back after the Air Force. He went through a few problems, you know.
Wait, hold on. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, before you were saying that your brother went to into the military or something. I could have swore it was the military, but I guess is the Air Force part of the military? I guess. It's like, yeah, I guess they would be part of the military. So he did have a mental issue, and that's what you say earlier, which is what you used to discredit his general perspective. And now you're like, well, we didn't have any mental health issue, but now you're saying that you did again. So your story is so fucking all over the place.
He's been to war, obviously, but he was still my big brother. You know, if he needed something, you call him up and be like, "Yo, I need some advice," and he gave it to you. He'd show up. Matter of fact, he probably wouldn't talk to you on the phone. He'd just pull up and be like, "What you need, little bro?" And he talked to you.
So then get him to come and say that she's lying.
He went through a divorce. He had a daughter. He went through a divorce. I'm not gonna say until I know everything that went on through him and his ex-wife. They just went their separate ways. She became like a sister to us, like a big sister to us. So I still got a relationship with her. And he got a daughter, obviously. His ex-wife, man, incredible person. She became a big sister. She helped take care of my mom. My mom got sick. Dad got sick. Grandma. Instantly good became part of our family. I still consider her family to this day.
God.
Man, incredible person.
Man. She have a nice like a rack.
My brother,
she have like a really nice rack or something. Like, why is she such an incredible person, man? What the fuck?
Honestly, they got divorced. I can't say I don't know what happened. All I know is he was they went their separate ways, and he went on about his life. She went on about her life. After a while, he stayed down south in Georgia, and then he finally just said he went back up north. I didn't talk to him. For some years, and that was his choice, not mine. Like previously, I told you, Elgin and Miguel, took me in as like a little brother, and they've been there. I didn't talk to him. I tried to reach out to him over the years. After about 3 years, I just stopped. I let him do his thing. I knew he was good because his family he was around, and they say he was good, and I left it at that. I mean, a couple days ago when all this video stuff happened, he called me, talking about the Reesa Teesa stuff, and I was just like, bro, you have no idea what was going on there. So, but it's
I'm sorry. Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Is he saying that his older brother Chris, right, the one that told Reesa these things, they're still friendly with each other? If I'm hearing that right, then why doesn't he just get him to come and vouch for him? Like, how would she be able to get away with just lying about this? This would be so easy to change. And maybe I'm mishearing it, but it sounds like he just said that he's still on good terms with his older brother. I believe his name is Chris. The one that Reesa is supposedly lying about, saying that is coming forward, saying that he has mental health issues and whatnot. He's a big liar. So you could easily verify that this is fake. You could be like, yeah, he's right here. Here he is on the phone. Here he is in person. It's my family, blah, 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 blah. Why wouldn't you be able to have that information if you guys are still in good terms?
As far as the argument, no, that's the last physical conversation we had other than the other day when he called me. The last time I saw him, we were great. I mean, honestly, the last physical conversation we had other than that, it was probably almost like 9 years.
He's just pranking him.
People talk about a bunch of different TikTok accounts and stuff like that. So I've seen a bunch of different videos about, just pictures of like, the offshore account, videos of like being at like the Netflix headquarters and stuff like that. Do you have a TikTok account? And, how valid are those videos and pictures?
I ain't never been to Netflix day in my life. I don't even know where their home is. The only thing I've done even close to anything with TikTok is my old job. We leased some property to them for a movie that they were original Netflix movie.
What job is this? Your old job at the mustard factory? What the fuck are you talking about? What?
And my boss made me go with them and stay with the property until they were done.
What old job is this, dude? Come on.
I had to stay there. I went on set. I was in a trailer enjoying the food. And as soon as they were done with our property, we were done. I was it. I ain't touched nothing. I ain't do. I sat in a trailer.
Do you think that his brother might have been confronting him about what was going on? Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Actually, I played PlayStation for most of the time. And then when they were done, we loaded our property up and I was done. I was gone.
Wow.
So that video.
Thanks for letting us know that you played PlayStation most of the time while they were looking at this property, and then you loaded up and they were done. It's pretty crazy. Interesting detail that we didn't need to know.
It's just like an old video?
Yeah, it's very old.
Okay.
It's before Teesa.
Okay.
At work, taking a break.
Well, he was a security guard, I guess, at that point. The head security guard, though, of the whole entire world. That's why he made so much money.
Just thought I'd come to you today. Today like 16 of filming, not to mention working. So the good thing is, the next couple days we're off from filming, so I can take a break. I can just go to work and come home and relax. Netflix working on a deal, no movie or nothing like that. Not mine.
What about the offshore account pictures?
I don't know where they get that from because I don't have it. I don't know where they get that from. That's still more lies. And this is for anybody, women, men, in general. Just young.
They find his old TikTok.
People, old people, anybody that watches this video. What you can take from this situation is, mentally, if you're healthy, your life is good. You come to peace with whatever demon you may carry, or you don't have none. That could be happy. True too. People who are broken, and when you realize they're broken, realize that you don't have the tools to fix that, and you can't fix that. You can point them to get some help, but you're not a psychiatrist.
So beautiful.
You're not any of that, and you can't help them. So that's not somebody you should be in a relationship with. That means is if you.
It's funny because I think he's trying to refer to his ex, but I think this is just really about him. Like this sounds like this guy 100% in fucking spades.
Guys, if you're dating a girl and she's mad at her baby daddy, they don't talk. They can't build. They've had kids together. Now they don't talk. She have child support. She at him all the time, and you just the guy there. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, ladies, but gentlemen, that's not the woman you need to be dating because adults have to learn that everything is not their way. If you got a kid and you're dealing with somebody, and let's say me and my girlfriend, we had a kid and we ain't together no more. We're going to have to be friends on the level because we have a child together. We have a life that we're responsible for. But when you got one person attacking the other person.
Did he ever actually respond to the child part where she claims that they almost had a kid together?
I want child support. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that.
Oh yeah, he did. He said it was the exes or something. She cheated or whatever.
And you constantly add them. They're not healed from that. They're not healed from that. My mom had a son before she met my dad, vice versa. And they were cool on that end. You see, so when you try to make that work with someone, I'm not saying you can't date them, but I'm saying you got to watch yourself because they're not healed from that. The baby daddy moved on and you at him, but you want to be my girlfriend, everything good over here, but you're not healed. She's broken.
You think that he's being 100% honest, but he's just super shit at conveying information? I hope God bless you, man. But I disagree.
And you got to understand that there's only so far you can go with that. When you push through all that, you see what I'm saying? I told my own girlfriend one time, I can love you beyond the BS if you let me. What that means basically is,
would you hear that in a song?
You got to put that down. You got to let that go. We've all been done wrong. I've been done wrong. I've been cheated on. Move on. I can't carry that into the relationship I'm in now. I can't carry Teresa into this relationship. I can't carry what Nisha did. I can't carry what Latoya got going on into this. So if you want to get in a relationship, heal first.
Beautiful.
From whatever you've been through. So you don't have to take the other person through it. Because
this is like, I really don't need advice from this fucking moron. I don't know why. Why are we letting him yap about this?
even when you're leaving the relationship, because all I did was leave. I said enough is enough. And for 3 years went by. And that's the number one question everybody asks me. Why'd she wait 3 years if you were so horrible? Again, her life, from what I hear, her life fell apart. It just fell apart.
Okay.
Nothing went good for her. I don't know if she had a boyfriend in 3. I don't know. I was just told from people I know in Atlanta, her life fell apart. She ain't been happy. And now this is what she wanted to do. She heard
these hoes ain't loyal.
Living good. He out here making money still. He out here doing great. I'm on the attack. It's the bitter effect. And it's not just women that do this. So don't think, ladies, that I'm attacking y'all. Because men do it too. Men do it too. You get with a girl, you give her the world, and then you leave because you go mess with the next chick, and now she's the B on the corner that you can't stand. And now all of a sudden she can't get child support because, oh, I ain't gonna pay child support. F that. No, you were there. You loved her at one point. You lay with her at one point. Take care of your kids.
Okay.
But so it's on both parts. All I'm saying is,
thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the advice, man.
Mental space is important. Date somebody in the same mental space as you. My mistake in life is dating people who are not. I grew up in a household with 2 parents. They loved each other every day. My parents did not fight. They did not argue. If they did, we ain't see it. My mama was the person who'd be like, you talk to your dad, go ask your dad. And he give you the same answer she gave you. And he in another part of the house, and he hadn't talked to her. He just know what she said. So for me, creating a healthy relationship with somebody, yeah, you should be on the up and up. Don't do what I did, because the one thing I didn't do to create a healthy relationship on my side is I didn't talk about the money. I kept money from her, from advice from people. It wasn't the best advice. Yeah, if we want to say I did something wrong, yeah, I did not tell my wife how much money I was making, worth, none of that. I didn't tell her. Because financially she wasn't.
Well, apparently you did say that you made like $250,000, but okay.
Where she needed to be, but that's not an excuse. I'm wrong for that. Period. I apologize to her and everybody else. Any man, please, if that's your girlfriend, you don't owe her that. I'm just gonna say that as my personal belief. If that's your girlfriend, you don't owe her that. But the minute you say I do, yeah, your finances is her finances, and you need to tell her you don't need to keep money from her. I did that, and that was a mistake on my part. And that's me. I can cop to my wrongdoing, and that's it. I should have told Teesa in the beginning what was going on, gave her a budget, and say, this is where we're gonna be at, and this is what we're gonna do, whoop, whoop, and do it from there. And the 2 gentlemen that my brothers that, they're not my brothers, but they are, they told me that's where you're wrong. You should have just, to this day, they still say, that's where you effed up, right? Because you should. But that's my advice to anybody.
Oh my god, yeah, he needs to start doing red pill content for sure, man. This is super, like, this is so, it's super boring listening to him yap about what he like life, because he's so dumb, and like I don't want to hear it.
If it's your girlfriend, and it's just, you don't gotta believe, like I say, you don't gotta listen to me. If it's your girlfriend, you don't owe her that. If you're moving in with her, I still say you don't owe her that, in my opinion. But when you get married, yeah, you do. Every dollar you make is her business. Every dollar she makes is your business. And I made a mistake by not doing it, and that's wrong on my part.
Wow,
not my proudest moment, not proud of it.
You're such a good guy, man. You're such a good guy for admitting that. Wow, what a good guy. I can't believe that she cheated on him, had another man's baby 3 times, and then she actually, all 3 of the guys she cheated on him with formed a Voltron robot and attacked him and hurt his knee. But after they already had gotten divorced, but actually not after they got divorced. It was while they were in the middle of the divorce. And then he actually, with the help of the Green Ranger, summoned a Dragon Zord and was able to defeat them, because Power Rangers is, of course, better than Voltron. Yeah.
I don't have no problem admitting that. If you watch the Reesa Teesa stuff, if you ever hear it, she tells you she's the victim. She was victimized from the beginning. She didn't tell you how she used to jump up and get mad, cuss her mom out because they got a horrible relationship. She didn't tell you that her mom lied to her about what her dad is. I talked to her dad now.
I don't care if her and her mom have not a perfect relationship. I don't give a shit about that. That means nothing to anybody. And like, I know how women are with their mothers. Like, each of them can be a little catty at each other. So that doesn't surprise me. The fact that you would believe this father that's a deadbeat dad that supposedly exists over her just shows me that you are a fucking moron.
We're friends. As a matter of fact, when I got into a relationship again, I told him that our relationship as friends, we had to back away because I'm with somebody else. I'm not with your daughter anymore. But he's a good dude.
Why would you be friends with him?
Her mom, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I can say that, because I don't think her mom did what she needed to do. Okay. And they don't have a great relationship, because when her mom used to come to visit, it wasn't good. Her aunt and her have a good relationship.
Did she kill her?
Her cousin Maddie, I think they're good, although I did watch her, go through some things. But again, her family, it's up and down.
Okay.
I just don't think that she was ready for what we were trying to do. The videos, am I mad about them? Yes and no. My girlfriend madder than me because it put her through something. For me,
what, did she get harassed and assaulted? Somebody beat her up? Like, what is...
I thought it was funny at first, until family members started getting attacked, till friends started getting attacked. People who know me were like, let me get up here and do a video and tell your side for you. Let me go up here and and I have held everybody back from saying something.
Let me get a video. Let me do something, man. Let me beat her up. What are you talking about?
Because what's it going to solve? They're not, and my main thing I would say, they're not attacking you all, they're attacking me. And I do want to say to the young lady who...
I don't think a single person has gotten attacked at all. He's just making it up. He said that he couldn't talk about this stuff because... He said he couldn't talk about this stuff because about the football thing, because he couldn't show a picture, because then the team was getting harassed and they were losing ticket sales. It's like, no, none of this happened. What are you talking about?
put my face
Of course, I love my mom.
up there and you did all that. I understand that you did that for clout. You did that for likes. And I do know that Teresa put you up to that. She probably not going to tell y'all, but she did. Teresa put her up to that. Teresa said, I can't say his name, but you can. And then she caught all this flack for it. And I feel bad for her because I think that you did it for likes and, to make your money on TikTok. And I'm going to tell you, young lady, Teresa used you because she did use you. All my friends, I apologize, whoever had to deal with the foolishness. Because I know all y'all live y'all life kind of like I live mine. We all like to sit back and we ain't none of us trying to be famous. So for you who had to deal with it, I apologize to the gentleman's house they defaced and all that. I apologize again.
Every story you tell us, every person that wanted to defend you is like, let's make some money, let's get some views.
Talked to him before, so we talked. The other gentleman, I apologize. The person I sold the house to down in Atlanta, I apologize for them swinging by your house. I think it's the right thing for you to do with the new alarm system and doing what you did with the fence. I really do hope they stop doing that. I think they did because he went and did a few things for you people who sent Teresa money. Y'all cash apped her. I don't know what y'all gonna do. I can't do nothing for y'all. So I had a lot of people ask me, I want my money back. You gave it to her. Reach out to her, not me.
A lot of people were asking you, I want my money back. Well, first of all, it's not even a question. Second of all, who? Who? That doesn't even make sense. I've had a lot of people asking me, I want my money back. Okay, so let's just remove the moronic fucking way he presented that. You're telling everybody that people were reaching out to you like, yo, I want my money back. From what? This is the first time you're speaking out. What would they want their money back from? How would you have even had a conversation with any of the people who donated money to her? This is like your first time coming forward. So if the logic is if somebody donated money to her, that means that they believed her story, which means they would only not believe the story once you came out. This is the first time you've come out. You said it in this episode. Or in this podcast that you didn't trust anybody else to come out. So how would anybody be coming to you and saying, oh, I want to get my money back. How can I do that? That doesn't make any sense. This is the first time you started talking. Like there's no counter narrative according to you. You're just saying words. You're just saying words. None of this makes any fucking sense. He doesn't even know what he's saying. It's incredible. Or are you telling us that your friends were like, oh man, I believed her for some reason? What? Nobody that you actually know donated money to her unless they actually knew that you were a scumbag. What are you talking about? None of this makes sense. Oh, so many people, they're coming forward to be like, how do I get my money back? Like, what the fuck are you on about?
TikTok, from what I understand, TikTok was like, they gave her the money for the views. So she got paid off y'all clicking and watching. So you want to stop her from getting paid because y'all exposing her now? Just stop watching. Stop watching Reesa Teesa. That's the only thing I can tell you. Because other than that, you're going to get paid every time you click and watch. And anyone who sent her personal gifts, I don't know what y'all going to do. I can't. Don't reach out to me and say, I want money back. You sent it to Teresa, talk to her. To the exes before her, LaToya, somebody gonna look at me and think I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not. But sounds like to me you still need to get that help that you were trying to get back then.
Okay.
I don't think you got it. I know about her daughter. In that situation, you need to get help. Not for your sake, for your children's sake. Nisha, I saw you do a video and I don't know what you're talking about. Like I walked away from you because you went it and we just agreed to disagree. And that was it. I left her. And that was it. There was no drama between me and her. She liked to get loud, jump up in my face, and I left. Again, I'm a black man. I'm not probably swinging on women. That's not what I do. I'm like 6'6". I'm not going to be out here because when the cop pull up, they're going to look at me and be like, okay, I got police officer in my family. And I'm not a violent person, never have been.
Correctional officer. Spot.
And those are the exes that I guess are bitter. I got ex-girlfriends who reached out to me that was like, hey, I'm sorry you're going through that. Because every relationship I've ever been in, I can't say when it was done, whether they were done with me or done with them, we had a mutual parting of ways. It was never no violence, never no screaming, hollering, or nothing. But these women are the women that I left because I said to myself, this don't work for me no more.
Wow. So
I got nothing against them still. I don't care what they say or what America or the internet say. I don't got nothing against Teresa. I left. Tell the truth. Toya, get some help and take care of your kids. Like your son should not be homeless. Tayshawn, I feel bad for you, my guy. I don't know what you need to get your life together. But
it's kind of like weirdly. I mean, this is obviously all a lie. This is just like a weirdly personal fucking lie, dude. Holy shit.
Whatever it is, do it. Matter of fact, my best advice is call your dad.
Call your dad, dude.
Call your dad. And because I know his dad still love him to death. Tayshawn's dad is a really, really, really good dude. I'll go so far as say
apparently everybody's dad that apparently is leaving their kids, by the way, is a really good guy that's just misunderstood. So I really appreciate standing up for deadbeat dads here.
He's a better man than me because he's been through some things, and that dude don't quit when it comes to being a dad. And I learned some stuff from his dad about being a father myself.
Wow.
So his dad is a really, really good dude.
Who you a dad to? What?
And I don't think Toya is a bad person. I just think that she needs some help.
What, do you got like a reborn doll because of the miscarriage? I don't understand.
I don't think Teresa's a bad person. I think Teresa needs to get some help.
Okay.
I don't think that Nisha a bad person. I think that she needs to get some help. Because Nisha's parents, they good people. Her sister, good people. Nobody that I'm talking about, the Toya's family, they're not bad people. They're good people. Nisha's family, good people. Teresa's family, from the ones that I've met, They're good people.
This could have just not existed in this. By the way,
I've gotten to sit down and talk to her dad. Good dude. Her mom. I can't say that I had a really good relationship with her, but I don't have anything bad about to say about her either. I didn't get a chance to get to know her. And maybe that might be more on my part because I kind of didn't want to get to know her because she was in Kentucky.
Wouldn't you have bad things to say about her though? You said that all they did was fight and had a bad relationship. So why would you have good things to say about her? I'm confused.
Wherever. And when she came to visit,
I don't know.
She kind of didn't talk to me. So
okay, I just don't believe any of this.
I would like for my family to be left alone.
Nobody's harassing your family, dude. What are you talking about?
My brothers, leave them alone.
Nobody knows your brothers. If anybody was going to get harassed, maybe you. Doubt it. But your brothers, what are you talking about?
That's all my family. Leave them alone. Stop trying to use my name to make me sound like some demon because I'm not. Anybody who knows me closely, they will tell you that dude they talking about, that's a lie. That's not him.
Okay.
Stop calling me, reaching out to me, trying to jump on my Facebook page. Because I mean, I have not gotten a lot of hate. I've gotten a lot of girls like, ooh, I'll be a side chick. I'll be this, I'll be that. I'm not interested. I'm happy where I'm at. Honestly.
Okay. I bet. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll find out if he's not interested because a lot of those are going to be fake to just see if they can get him more. So it'll actually be funny if in like a month, if that, it's like, oh, Legion was cheating on. if that'd be fucking funny. If they're like, oh, we got him. We faked it. Like Foodie Beauty's husband. They faked him out on that one too.
Me and my girlfriend are working. I'm still happy where I'm at. My nieces, nephews, kids involved. I leave them alone. Okay. I'm asking you to. I don't care about no.
Maybe you should tell your brother that. EDP 445. He might be going after your nieces.
This lie about a Tubi movie. I've actually spoken to representatives. Ain't no Tubi movie. Ain't no Netflix.
There's a Tubi movie. I spoke to representatives. What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? You spoke to what representatives? What does that even mean? About this Tubi movie, I spoke to representatives. Representatives of what? The Lollipop Guild? Like what people do you know that you would even have this conversation with? You wouldn't even have to be any part of any conversation about this movie. I think all they'd have to do is change the names. What the fuck are you talking about? I've spoken to representatives. How do you think this works? Okay.
Netflix movie. Ain't no Tyler Perry movies. None of that.
Okay. Tyler Perry playing you would be very funny though.
Leave people I love alone. My friends and my family, leave them alone.
What? You're cheating on me. Let you finish before I kick you out.
Period. It's just leave them alone. It's a lie. If you want to believe it, you go ahead and do that. But please leave the people I love and I trust alone. You want to keep coming at me after this? Go ahead. It's a lie. I'm not going to answer because I'll probably delete the Facebook page once I invite everybody over to the new page. They are my friends.
Wow.
The phone calls in the middle of the night, it'd be nice if they stop.
How would I just don't agree. I just don't think that that's happening. Nobody has how did your number get leaked? What phone numbers would be happening? None of this exists. He probably told his new girl that like there's probably girls calling him and there's like they must have got the number from Reesa Teesa. He has like a nice new excuse to talk to all these women and be like, no, I'm not talking to her. Like this is Reese's fault.
They probably won't. But it'd be nice if they stop. I did this interview today with you because you're a legitimate person. I turned down like 5 or 6 interviews with other people because they weren't gonna do nothing but spin it anyway.
He's just kind of sitting there listening to you talk.
I don't have
the Yap Festival.
Anything against Reesa. And this is what you gotta do to get money. That's sad.
Okay.
Toya, if you gotta do this for money, that's sad. Same with anybody else. That's sad. The one lady who said that there's one more thing, I'm sorry. There's a lady who's on TikTok, I don't know her name. She said that she made a comment that she said that I didn't, if I was a CEO, which I was never, she said that most men like me look for eye candy, and they went and attacked her, ripped her apart, and she had to do another part, and they still trying to go at her.
What?
Ma'am, I know you were trying to help, and I'm not mad at what you said, but I don't think I'm eye candy, and I date someone for their heart. Number one. 2.
Oh, I guess somebody was like, "Oh, Reesa, you're too ugly for this stuff to happen to you." Is what it sounds like. And he watched that one and enjoyed that, and he's like, "No, I'm a good guy. I don't go after eye candy."
You said you guessed that she was lying. Okay, but you didn't help me by attacking Teresa. I know you thought you were. But you didn't help me by doing that. You want to help me? Y'all write her and get her some help. You want to help me? You gotta help her. I don't need help. I'm fine.
Okay.
Not a narcissist. I'm wrong way more than I'm right, and I'm okay with that because my other half is right, and that's good enough for me.
I'm never wrong.
The people I didn't name, because we don't talk about kids, we don't talk about none of that because that's not y'all business, and it's not going to be the kids in my family are going to have to deal with this. My niece that had to move from Atlanta. Y'all be careful about what y'all watch online and what y'all believe. At the end of the day,
you're right there.
Legion, demons, narcissists, none of these things are who I am, and everybody know me no better. The people who don't like what I'm saying to you today, let that be your problem. Because while this was going on, I know some of y'all thought that my life was going to be made hell, and that I wasn't going to live my life. I've been out this house every day since that has gone.
No, it was really just kind of a fun story. You know, but okay.
And I've got nothing but love, respect.
You kind of inserted yourself into it, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, I know it's about you, but then also, like, I don't know, you didn't give any identifiable information, you know?
How you doing? Keep your head up, move forward. But if you want to continue to try to make money and demonize me, go ahead if you want to. I am not the arguing type of person. I'm not going to be. At 45, I'm a grown man. My situation is good. I love my family. All of them. Even the ones that don't like me too much, I love them all because they're my family. I love my brothers.
There's just to be clear, there's another 15 minutes of yapping of him just fucking going on and just like hearing the sound of his voice.
To death. Me and one of my brothers, obviously we don't talk that, but I still love him to death.
To death.
He had a big part of teaching me how to be a man, so I'll never hate him for it. Crazy, my nieces and nephews love y'all, and I apologize if y'all had to go through anything because of me. Not necessarily was because of me, but it's my ex-wife, so I take blame for that. And to the ladies just running around saying whatever, not just Teresa or anybody else, I'm gonna tell you, y'all get some help. Get some help.
Everybody get some help. Get some help.
Get some happiness. And you won't have time to go out and make up crap or be on TikTok. I've obviously found that happiness. And I'm really, really good. Even with this situation, I'm still good. I will say this much, Fred, because I don't want to forget this. And I said in the beginning I was gonna say something about this. Young people.
Yeah.
18 to 30. I'm just gonna make it wide enough.
That's not really young people, but okay.
When you get in a relationship with anybody, and I'm not bad about Facebook or anything else, look at some famous people and their relationships stay pretty good because they don't put everything. They keep their business private.
Okay. Sure. I mean, I generally agree. Keep some solid boundaries. Sure.
That's something you care about. Keep them private. I told my girlfriend don't tag me in nothing with her kids. Don't do nothing. And I'm glad I did that because they didn't come under attack. You know what I mean? I think.
So who did?
Something was said to one of the kids, but it didn't go.
Wait. So you're telling me that you told her not to tag you with pictures of your kids, so they don't come under attack? But I mentioned that would happen from the start of your relationship. So you just never wanted to be tagged in pictures of her with her kids, and now you get to use this as an excuse as to why you didn't want to do it from the first place. I don't know, dude. It sounds like you're always trying to craft a lie.
Nowhere, but because
I can't wait for the follow up to this video from like 2 years later after the girl he's with now like breaks up with him and comes forward and he's like, oh my God, Reesa was right about everything.
Not because of this situation can happen, just because keep your love life private. Everybody knows what you got going on. The people that know you, they do. Social media can be the devil, as you can see. So don't let them in your business. I learned that a long time ago.
Don't let the devil in your business.
I mean, other than that, love each other every day, man. Don't. You break up.
Maybe every other day.
Walk away clean. If you with the person, you with them. Love them. That's it. No fancy stuff. Put everything on the table. Everything I said, if you need to rewatch this video, watch it again.
No, this is fucking exhausting.
I do have a page where it's called Real Talk. We talk about relationship stuff all the time, simply because if I can help you, I can help you. If this situation will teach somebody, I know Teresa said, hey, this story.
This guy's like legitimately just yapping at the end here, just saying the same dumb thing over and over again.
It will help one person. I don't think her story, I don't know that she meant that, but I will tell you.
Guys, here's my advice. Go get a certification to drive a forklift and go donate your time to a food kitchen. That's what you should do.
This can help you in your relationship with young men, women, older women, don't matter. Then I'm cool with it. I want to say this. I've seen because I got calls from TMZ, I got calls from ABC. Like I think they're recording something on the Tamron Hall show for her or whatever. And I told them, hey, you can't use my face because I'm getting sick and tired of picking up my computer and somebody saying, or I blocked a lot of people. I blocked a lot of
Nobody knew your face. What the fuck are you talking about? And now your face is on here.
And I had to tell a representative from the Tamron Hall show with my legal counsel, hey, you can't use my face.
Well, they can. That doesn't change anything, but okay.
I ain't giving you permission to use my face. You can't use it.
That's just not how things work, but okay, good job, asshole.
And I think what they even talk about on the Breakfast Club, which is a show that I actually like to listen to and watch. I like Charlamagne God, DJ Envy. They got Jess Hilarious on there now, who I always think is funny as all get out. And I think he said something like he made a really, I guess to me it was a rough joke. He called her like a big back or something like that or whatever. And that to me, I got no problem with Charlamagne. I don't. I just, for me, I know whether to laugh at it or feel bad. Okay. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like my sister, I would say, hey, she put herself out there for whatever they're going to do to her. But the sad part about it, like I said, it's so many people invested in the lie. That's all I can say. I can't even say call it a story. There's just so many people invested in the lie. And there's people who got defrauded, and I feel bad for them. I mean, my family, I've got a chance to sit down and talk to my family members. Dude, and they all know. So I'm pretty good. The people who I'm estranged from, they're people that I didn't deal with since I was a little kid because my mom chose to move away, and then we just didn't deal with them. My brother that she talks to, I got no ill will against him. He just, actually, I can't clean it up. Sorry. He may be in it for the money too, for all I know. Money ruins people. At the end of the day,
this is fucking ridiculous.
Pretty much. I mean, I hope everybody get past it.
Dude, he's just still going. How the fuck is he still going?
I mean, I didn't do things she said, but I mean, some people, this video gonna air, some people still gonna say he lying. Some people gonna say, hey, he lying. You might even catch some flack, but they might say, oh, he lying. How you give him time?
Yeah, you lied like 8 times verifiably in this. Like, we didn't even have to parse it through her information. You just said dumb shit. Like, your story was completely unbelievable.
He did see that. No, I don't believe it. And that's fine too. But what I want to urge everybody, women, men, everybody, if there's been people that got on TikTok and everywhere else and told the story before, Facebook, YouTube, Maury Povich show, Tamron Hall, wherever, they've told their story. Not once, and I'm just asking people to do your research, just not once did somebody say, they put the cash app up and say, help me. Not once. And there's people who need that help.
Okay.
So
if people want to give Reesa money on the internet, then who cares?
Attention to who you helping. Because everybody ain't telling you the truth. If anybody want to demonize me, go ahead, that's fine. The people who know me, they know the truth. Other than the crazy chicks that's been in my inbox talking about, oh, I'll be a side chick, you can pay all my bills. My girlfriend don't believe it. Her family don't. They know better. She know better. My friends are close to me, they know me. They know better. People I work with, they all know better. People who are close to me, everybody know me, know better. So that's what counts to me. My girlfriend's older sister, extensive background, federal agent. I wouldn't be sitting here. She wouldn't let me talk to her sister or even be close if I was this person. So if people want to demonize, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I would appreciate it if you stop going after my family.
Oh my God, how is he still going, dude? Holy fuck! There's 8 more minutes of this.
I would appreciate it if you stop because for me, it's just getting old. I mean, some people are not going to stop.
Bro, I'm getting old listening to this. It's a fucking yap festival.
They're gonna keep going. They're gonna believe it. They're gonna keep going, and I'm okay with that too. That's what you gotta do. You gonna make me public enemy #1, and you gonna make me the demon person because of a bunch of lies. That's fine too.
The demon person.
To the exes that are making videos, I said something earlier. I'm gonna say it again. I walked away from all of y'all for some of the same reasons I walked away from Teesa. That's the facts. I walked away from Latoya.
Facts,
My mom didn't like her. Dad didn't like her, and at one point it just got to the point where they were done. And it was it. Her son. Like I said before, he should call his dad. His dad loved him to death.
Bridges
he definitely helped me. He should call his dad. And as far as
falling down,
I feel bad for
falling down. I know you don't like it when I do this, Cat. London bridges falling down.
I'm not gonna stop living my life. I'm happy. With I'm with. I'm happy. This is nothing but like a little stopping point to have to deal with this. And after this, honestly, I'm probably not doing interviews talking to nobody because I don't need to. You don't believe me? I'm okay with that. You do believe me? I'm okay with that too. But this, like for me, she did all this after she found out I was involved with somebody. As long as she was heard through the grapevine or whoever she's talking to, some people in my family who I don't deal with too funny for whatever the reason, or I just haven't seen it.
Oh, so she started doing this now because she found out you were okay. Just to be clear, before he was talking about how he has no idea why she's coming back 3 years later, other than she must be miserable. Now the reason she must be doing it is because she somehow found out through the grapevine that he's dating somebody new. He keeps doing this where like he just changes the narrative over and over again, like 10 minutes after he says something.
And once they found out I had a girlfriend, that's when it started. That's when these videos started. If I was miserable somewhere, sitting in a wheelchair still, not living life, she'd have been perfectly fine. There would be no Reesa Teesa, period.
So it's because you moved on?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
My girlfriend watched the videos, some of them, and looked at me and was like, well.
I mean, you're at a point now where you've been broken up for longer than you were together, so.
I don't know who they talking about. Her sister, they actually looked me up. Like, they did a background check and see what kind of person I was. They looked me up and they were like, okay. And they told me, like, straight up, like, no. And they think that's not who you are, so there it is.
They did a background check on you? What the fuck? How does a background check give you personality?
I'm always person I say all the time, and she get on to me. I say, I'm wrong probably 90% of the day. A narcissist ain't gonna tell you that they're wrong. I make mistakes all day, every day. That's fine with me. My girlfriend.
It's not what a narcissist is, dude. It's so funny. Like, he looked up what a narcissist isn't somebody who can't be wrong. A narcissist is somebody who is never the problem. They think that they're never the problem. They think that there's never the reason for anything. And like, I don't think dude, he's just a liar. You know, like him saying like, I probably should have told my wife about about the money I made. That's not like an actual admittance of some form of guilt. Like, you're just saying that as like a small thing that doesn't matter because it doesn't mean anything to him, and it doesn't actually like weigh negative. Nobody's gonna be super upset with this guy because he didn't tell him his wife how much money he was making or his whatever. Nobody's truly gonna be mad at him for that. It's not like he's admitting things that are like really like, oh yeah, that's not good. That makes you look bad. You know, that's it. If anything, it's just meant to be like, yeah, all I did was like not tell her money. I know I shouldn't have done it though. Like, he's like morally masturbating. He's like, yeah, I probably should have told her that. So that makes me a bad guy. And so the implication there is like, you know, he's putting the fact that he didn't tell his wife how much money he had on the same level of her supposedly cheating. It's like, no, obviously this is a whole thing. It's just a reframe to make it look as good of a person as possible. It's full of shit.
Friend, honestly, she's gonna kick me if she sees this, but she's much smarter than me. And it's not like I'm saying I'm stupid. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying you are, but she has a way of looking at things to make a lot of stuff easier. I wouldn't be able to do this situation, this interview, talk to anybody, stand up for myself. I was going to leave it alone. I was going to let them say whatever they want to say. They don't know me. The people around me know me is one thing. But once you start attacking certain friends of mine, family members, they get inbox on Facebook, people's kids getting harassed, you know, nieces and all his nephew dealing with people at college and all this. So for me, then that was the thing. And then I saw these women with a Cash App. When the girl told the story about sending her Teesa this money, and then she found out later it was BS. She blocked her because she had spoken to her. She blocked this girl on everything, and this girl's out $3,000. And when I spoke to her, like I said, she didn't ask me for the money back to be fair. She just asked me, you should say something at this point. Because I've seen a lot of it. I just didn't say anything. She said, you should say something at this point because I'm not the only person to Cash App her.
So the girl reached out to you saying, hey, I cashed out her $3,000. But what made her come up with the conclusion that she made a mistake?
Yes, exactly. Why would she Cash App her $3,000, which I don't even believe is true, and then go, like, what would make her realize that? This is your first interview, Jerome.
Like, she saw a post where a lady posted a video about it was her story. And then she went and read the woman's story and watched her videos. And she realized it's the same story. The lady was telling her, she reached out to this lady and the lady told her, yes, it's fraud. And then she reached out to me because they had put my face out there. And it was,
What? It's the same story. The story that she told, you confirmed that almost the entire thing, except for some small parts. You just have a different answer for like half of the shit. Bro, I don't care. Okay.
So many messages, and I guess by chance, I sent her a message like, hey, I don't know what's going on, this ain't me. And she told me I sent her $3,000. And I immediately called her, and we had a 2-hour conversation, and she was upset. And
wow. I love this because this is into the new lore of the new girlfriend. Basically, this is what I think happened. He was on the phone with another woman for 2 hours, and he concocted this insane lie up to justify it to his current girlfriend. That's what happened. Yeah. You know, there was this girl who donated like $3,000 to Reesa, and you know, I was on the phone with her for 2 hours, and his girlfriend found out about it. And he needed a story, and this was the story that he came up with. Incredible.
When she said she watched the videos and talking to me, she said, I don't think you're the person that they're talking about. And I said, well, using my face, and she's saying that's me, and she made a bunch of stories that's not me. I felt so bad for that young lady that I wasn't going to send her $3,000. I'm not going to say, I'll send her $3,000, but I did send her $1,000.
Dude. You sent another woman $1,000 because you felt bad for her? What a nice guy. Or a very expensive prostitute. What do you have phone sex with this fucking woman? What is happening here? This guy is such an obvious liar. Holy shit.
Because she got
Oh my god, dude. What was the girl's name? Peaches? Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for the small guy, Big Daddy Bojangles. Yeah, where did he get the money from? He probably stole it from his fucking current girlfriend. Hey, thank you so much. There's no way, dude. This is insane.
She had kids, and I can't help everybody. So that's why my girlfriend was like, well, you can't go out here and start paying money back to then engage Teresa. Best thing for you to do now is say something about it. So at least that she don't get to defraud these women. If everybody want to believe I'm a demon or I'm Legion or whatever, I don't really care. That's fine with me. Stop sending her money because she lied to you. You don't have to believe me, but don't send her money. Because people go online and tell the story.
You don't have to believe me, but don't send her money. It's like, okay, well, that, like, people are sending her money because they don't believe you.
They don't ask you for money.
They believe her.
You see what I'm saying? Like, somebody's been done wrong and asked you for money. Tina Turner got beat up by Ike Turner. She asked the fans to give her some money. Did she? I mean, and the list goes on and on.
I mean, it's pretty normal for people to put like a Cash App or something in their bio. Who cares?
I mean, if Joe Jackson beat the Jacksons didn't call you and say, hey, I know you listen to my records. Can you sing something? Because Joe beat me. So I'm saying, like, that is where, for me, I said, okay, if you don't pay attention, that's where you can see the fraud. If she was just telling the story, she would just told the story and that's it.
No, you're just looking for things to pick at, but okay.
She's making money off of this, and that was her goal. I'm going to destroy him.
I mean, listen, it's quite possible that she told this story to make some money. Doesn't mean that it's fake. It's also possible she just decided to tell the story. The fact of the matter is, in my opinion, I'm surprised anybody watched through 50 parts of this fucking story. Like, it doesn't make sense that if she was looking for money that she would tell it like this, but it worked out. I sat through the whole 7 fucking hours of it, watched it on double speed. Because she speaks a little slow. And I'm surprised anybody did. This would be the worst. Nobody would have expected a 50-part, 10-minute each TikTok series would have been successful. This would not have been the way to make money.
Because he happy, he good, and I'm gonna make some money off it because that's what she about. Gotcha. So taking money from all those women who sent her money, I feel bad because you got defrauded, and that's wrong. Anybody who's told the story didn't come in here and say, you know, money. And like I said, I didn't know about the Cash App. The young lady told me. And when I saw, that's what made me start watching the videos. I didn't care otherwise, but I started watching and seeing the Cash App pop up, and I was like, oh my god. And then a lawyer buddy of mine said they're sending her money, and that was the part for me I felt bad because I said again, these women, they're getting taken for a ride. And it's easy for Americans to believe, but black men, we get players, we dogs. You know, you got the Stevie J's of the world and whoever else you want to add in there to do stuff like this. So again, it wasn't hard for everybody to believe. But like I said, my main reason. Peaches. And for the people who sent her money, I feel bad.
Oh my God, thank fucking Christ that it's over. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ Almighty. Thank God. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. This was fucking... listening to him yap was fucking insane. Jesus Christ. I can't believe we sat through 3 hours of this. Okay. It was pretty much on double speed the whole time, too. I was fucking, dude, he's so boring. I fucking hate this guy. He's such a liar. It was funny to catch him out in the lies, but Jesus fuck.